Remember Adam said that we need a jingle. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the moonlighting of the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, you got it right.
I got it right.
Damn.
This is a very super special episode brought to you by our friends and Patreons. Adam Skinner.
Hello.
He is our friend, our only friend, and our only Patreon.
I'm here for my $5 gift card.
It's $10.
Oh.
Well, I didn't think we had a currency on it anymore.
No, it's always dollars.
Oh, yeah, well, we
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
it as dollars. Sorry.
Yeah.
Very strange, right?
Yeah. Declining Brexit, all good. So yeah, what we are going to be doing a super duper deep dive. That sounded cool. Super duper deep dive. Super duper deep dive of the Outer Worlds. So for those of you that don't know what the Outer Worlds is, why are you even here?
No, maybe they wouldn't. Oh no, so maybe they wouldn't know and play it, but then they get ruined a lot.
Yeah. So the Outer Worlds is described by our friends and patrons at Wikipedia. The Outer Worlds is an action role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Private Division, and it was released on the 25th of October, and somehow we've all managed to complete it. Right.
Pretty impressive.
Preemptively say this is going to be quite obviously a very, very spoiler-heavy episode.
Yes, very spoiler-heavy. So if you have any intention of playing it, stop listening because we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
But come back after you've played it and listen.
Yeah,
then.
see if you
Yeah. Anyone, this is for people that have played the Outer Worlds and want to know our opinion and share your opinion as well. Let us know what you think, because I don't know how everyone else felt about it, but
That's a good place to start. Are we all coming at this from an angle where we've thought quite positively of this game? Did anybody not like it overall?
I have one small thing, but it's not about the game. It's something exterior about it.
Did you like the game?
I did like the game, yeah.
Cool. Did you all like the game?
Mine's majority positive, but I do have like some nitpicky things.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
I'm 50-50.
Okay, it's
But
interesting.
I'm always the negative person.
You're
aren't I?
a negative Nancy over
The
it.
devil's advocate.
I have to play devil. You guys like everything, okay? I need to play devil's advocate, all right? So what we're going to do, the way that these moonlighting episodes are going to work, we're going to try and do one a month, apart from December, because December is the Game of the Year podcast. And we are basically going to split the game into 5 categories of gameplay, story, visual, audio, and value. And then we're all separately going to give it a score, and out of 10 out of 10 for each category. So you'll end up with something out of 40 for each category, and we'll average the whole thing. So basically it ends up with a score out of 50 at the end, and that is our praise the pickle stamp of approval or disapproval, or mediocre approval. So let's start with...
Oh, me again?
No, start with gameplay. Who wants to go first? I'll leave it up to you guys this time.
Stuff it. I'll go for okay. My take on it.
It's just gameplay, yeah.
Yeah, just the gameplay. I thought the shooting. It was very. I felt as if because so I played this game as a very much a sniper-esque character. So
You always play as a sniper.
I wanted to play that when I was playing Borderlands, but I couldn't. So I thought this game would be a good game. That I felt like if they had it, because I was told beforehand it was quite like Fallout, and in that game you can manipulate your character in terms of how you like to play. So I wanted to play this one as a sniper, and you do feel quite rewarded in terms of where you're shooting. So the game was, I know it sounds really weird, but the game was very accurate in terms of
good hitboxes.
Yeah. Where you aim, you shoot in, it's good. I felt as if there was never a real struggle moment. That's one thing I felt was quite at no point could you go into a battle and you think to yourself,
It was too easy overall.
yeah, there was no.
That's one of my biggest. It was so easy.
I think I died once in the whole game.
Yeah.
I don't think I died at all.
And that was mainly
honestly.
through my own stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I died quite early on because I didn't realise that you could a lot of the. I died very quickly compared to what I thought I'd die like. I mean, I think I got like bit like by 5 times by these like pack of dogs, and I was like, oh crap, you actually you have to do this a little kind of strategically, but once you get the grip of it, you can really.
Well, I feel like you need to be strategic for about an hour, and then your scaling and leveling just completely outweighs the enemy after about an hour. Like it was impossible. I know I did die once. The only time I died in that game was from full damage, because for some reason in my head I was like, I'm in space, I'm not going to take full damage.
Yeah, full damage. I felt in that game you could jump from like off a box and you'd be take a bit of health.
Yeah, that was a bit odd, but.
Did any of you use any of the the things that boost your?
I was just about to say that the only inhaler thing that I used was the very first basic one that gave you a bit of health back.
Yeah,
there was absolutely no need for any of that.
And I'd found so many.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I found that issue with what I quite like. Compare it to Fallout. I found ammo was scarce. You couldn't really find that much, and when you did, it's probably not the ammo type you use on your main gun.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, I had so much ammo.
Yeah, you
insane.
do.
I didn't have to buy any from vendors.
No.
I had my favourite gun was the LMG, the light machine gun.
Yeah.
You know, the one that didn't aim in properly.
I think it was like the MK2 or something.
Yeah, but that, and I, using this thing that just pumps out bullets, and I still never ran out. Still, I basically mainly just used that gun, and at the end of the game, I still had like 2,000 light machine guns.
There was only 3 types, wasn't there? There was the plasma, light, and heavy.
Yeah.
And there were boxes and stuff everywhere.
Yeah,
non-stop.
Very loot heavy.
Yeah, and not only
so many credits by the end.
Yeah.
I found this. Because I think I ended up jumping into quite a hard area at one point, and I found this sniper. I'd say about an hour into the game, still my main gun, but at the end of the game. Because I upgraded it quite a bit in terms of in the workshop. Bench. Workbench. Yeah, I upgraded it quite a bit, but still, I could find a pack of people, and I could headshot every single one of them. And then that was a little bit gone.
But that was part of the issue. Like I didn't even use the workbench once. Like I used it for a mission, like right at the start of the game, but I didn't need it.
Because there were a lot of guns as well. The same guns. The lack of guns I found as well.
I was going to say there weren't that many guns.
No, which is why you could because obviously your gun deteriorates in how good it is when you use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which is where I kept repairing my same one.
But then I never had issues finding the components required to repair my weapons either. It wasn't like I ever got to the point where I couldn't repair a weapon and had to switch it out.
When you dismantled weapons, you got more weapons. It was like you found weapons just everywhere, so it was just...
I was a bit disappointed when I started to come across like version 2s of weapons, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is like tier 2 of the same weapon type.
Is there anything different about it?
That's as high as it went though as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was waiting for something more.
For me, it was basically... You had all your standard weapons that are in every sort of game, assault rifle, submachine gun, light machine gun, yeah. And then the only slightly interesting ones were the science weapons.
I found the science weapons really weak.
They were exactly the problem, They were interesting but weak.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Did you, this might be a little spoiler in terms of where I went in my gameplay, but did any of you get that a pistol or like an assault rifle from someone at one point that used it basically like added some like purple things over people? Everyone.
Oh wait.
N-Ray or something.
N-Ray?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When did you get from Phineas?
In his locker at the back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not where I got my N-Ray gun.
Oh, everyone gets an N-Ray gun or something. See, I thought this game had multiple different places you can end. I didn't realise everyone had
the conclusion. We'll get to that. Because this is.
I had my N-Ray weapon way before, because on the workbench you can modify the ammo.
Yeah.
And it changes its type.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I found an N type.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can turn your gun from like
normal
to
plasma,
shock or corrosive.
Oh yeah.
Alternative
plasma.
yeah.
And I found an N-Ray one stuck it on a machine gun I've been using since the start, and I think I was using that gun at the end of the game as well.
That M rate is ridiculous. That
Yeah.
stuff.
So
that makes
powerful,
it even easier.
Yeah.
The only thing it's not good against is robots,
Yeah.
Mm.
which I felt the gunplay felt good apart from against mechanical stuff.
Yes.
Well, I don't think the gunplay felt that good personally. I think it was a bit. Okay. Why do you think it was good?
I think it's because I'm comparing it to Fallout again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Fallout just felt like
Garbage.
It's quite clunky.
it just felt like I was shooting a sponge.
Yeah, no, it was.
Whereas in this one,
yeah.
there was at least some
Yeah, no,
reaction.
it's definitely better than Fallout. But in this day and age of all these games that are coming out, why is it still so lacking? Like, you've got games like Doom, you've got games like Wolfenstein, like all these really solid first-person
Borderlands
shooters.
3 has a very good gunplay.
Yeah.
That game, yeah. And then...
Had to chuck it in there.
no, to be fair, Borderlands did always have good gunplay. There's just... Call of Duty, there's just so many games out there where the guns just feel so nice to shoot and you get proper feedback and everything. Why is a brand new game that's just coming out now when they ventured, this is them free from Fallout, this is them free from Bethesda, and it's like they could have done anything and they've just made pretty much a clone of
I think
Fallout.
it's worth noting that they did not have a budget anything close to what they had for. things
No,
like
the
Fallout.
budget was
It's
tiny. Yeah,
technically
yeah.
I guess you call it a AA game instead of a AAA
Mm.
game, so you can see why they've cut certain corners.
Yeah,
like that.
but that's. I just wish they focused more on that. The gameplay just felt a bit sluggish.
Especially when you were, I felt at least that I was drawn into gunplay, even when I didn't really go into a situation wanting to go gunplay.
Did anyone actually use melee weapons?
No.
I did once.
One of my companions
So I
did.
used it like level 1.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
The Inferno stuff was quite cool.
The weapons
Really
looked
looked
awesome.
cool.
The melee weapons looked really cool.
All the guns
I
looked
thought.
cool.
Yeah, and I like
The
that they,
build
looked,
and stuff.
Yeah.
they changed the appearance based on the mod you put on them as well. Only subtly, but that was quite nice.
I think for the fact there is a AA game, like you said, and a AA game, and small budget, you have to take that into account when you look at the amount of weapons and the versatility and stuff, because that does require a lot, especially if you want all these weapons to be that detailed and that interesting. That takes a lot of time to do that.
Like we said, there wasn't a massive variety in the weapons.
No, but that's what I mean. It's a AA game. It's not a massive
Yeah.
budget game.
Also-
There's only so much time they can put into it.
Like,
Isn't there?
you could say the same about the armour as well. A lot of the armours were just slightly
Oh.
better stats and a recolour.
Yeah.
That was it. The armour didn't look very different. Not that I didn't really see your own character, so I wasn't that bothered.
My
but,
problem
That
with
really
the armour-
annoyed me. I spent so long making my character look good, and then I never saw his face again.
You can turn it off for you and your companions.
Yeah, but you see theirs in cutscenes, but you never see your
You can
face.
turn it off. There's an option
What?
to turn your companions' helmets off as well.
Yeah, but you still don't see your face.
No, it's
I
true.
want to see. I want to see the face.
any
I
other argument
crafted.
there?
No, but it's,
The only way to see it is to
Gunplay. Yeah,
go
gameplay.
AFK.
Go.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. All right.
Camera does that thing.
Did it also? I want to say, did anyone use that the slow ability?
No, I was
Slow
going to get
thing?
onto that.
Yeah, I've got.
Go on, Adam.
You first.
It was pretty cool, but I didn't use it once.
Really?
I'll be honest with you. I forgot it was even a thing till
Yeah.
right towards the end. And not only that, one thing I did like about it, and I didn't realise it until the end, is that you can affect a character depending on.
Where
So,
you-
so, for example, towards the end of it, with a lot of people in my slow thing, if I headshot them, they go blind.
Yeah.
And other ones, I think get staggered.
Yeah.
I think the robots get staggered or something.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
know,
you can kneecap them to cripple. or
yeah,
shove the arm to
and
disable.
which I thought it was a cool bit to it, but then it's an extra thing you get added on to how easy it was.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean like towards the end of it, I mean you could do like 500 damage for a headshot, and you headshot them twice, and that's it. They're dead.
500 was that it? My gun, I had this plasma rifle, right, which said there's a little charge up shot, and it did like 1800 damage.
Oh, okay,
It
I
was
never got that.
absolutely ridiculous. I was walking into like the last level, thinking, right, let's bloody do this, and I just walk in, I'm just like dead. It was just like there's no
The challenge.
there was no challenge. Like if I had that gun, I don't even know how much harder the harder difficulty would have to be for that gun to not be completely broken. Like,
I feel like it's kind of a bit of a conclusion point, really, but I feel like this game would thrive at, was it supernova difficulty, the absolute max difficulty, where
Maybe,
you
yeah.
really have to think about things.
yeah,
I never thought about it if you choose what.
Yeah, the other side is
That
we
is
all played
true.
on normal, didn't we?
I did, yeah.
I mean,
I
in
didn't think
hindsight,
about
one of us
that.
should have turned up difficulty at least.
But then even with that, there's still such a limited amount of, even the guns and stuff themselves. They didn't affect the gunplay in general. Just wouldn't have been affected even if you were on harder. It would have just taken a few more bullets
But
to kill
yeah.
people. Or
It might have forced you to avoid gunplay altogether and go a different route, like
That's
stealth,
true.
for example.
I did do that occasionally, avoid certain things because I thought to myself, well, I'm not gaining anything from killing these people. Like,
What was you going to say about the slowdown thing?
I liked it. I used it quite a lot, mainly because it just felt good to use.
I agree.
And I keep comparing it to Fallout, but they had a very similar system with
Yeah,
the
very
VATs.
Direct comparison.
And
yeah.
I never liked the VAT system
No, I mean,
because it just felt really
cheap.
it broke up the flow of the combat.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you
Yeah,
have
no,
this
VATs was. I've always had VATs. Remember when people were talking when Fallout 3 first came out, and people were talking about like it's got this really cool VAT system.
Mm.
You got a percentage and stuff, and I was just like, why would you want that?
it's just so
I like
jarring
it.
to suddenly
Naff, man.
just stop time and I didn't like. I liked the slow mo thing. I mean,
in a direct comparison, yes.
yeah.
I think to be honest, can we all safely say that it was better than Fallout?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cool. So there's no more comparisons to Fallout. Okay, it was better than Fallout. That's
That just
100%.
crossed out all the references I made.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about what it was like in comparison to a game very similar to it.
Does,
if that makes sense.
does this little section fall under like the choosing on the UI system where you can choose if you're
It's just systems.
stealthy
Yeah, it's
or-
all gameplay.
Okay, yeah. So I put a lot of my, like I said, I put a lot of mine in sneak, and I think a lot of lock picking and stuff because certain times I feel like I couldn't go to a certain place unless I could lock pick. Obviously, that's the case with a lot of things.
Yeah, my
but-
lock picking skill was maxed out.
Yeah, and I mean certain things like defense and medicine. Yeah, no point in doing it. It could have been something that was just useless by the end of it.
I didn't really put much thought into leveling my character,
No.
Same.
but I didn't come across many sort of dialogue options or other like skill check options that I couldn't do.
So there was one thing. So I
There was a-
basically almost maxed out intimidate, persuasion, lockpicking, that sort of stuff. But there was only one situation in the entire game that I couldn't talk my way out of.
Was it
And-
right at the end we needed 100?
Oh no! Apart from that, no.
Okay.
But that I didn't care about. It was the
in,
bit.
in the labyrinth.
I didn't even get that option.
Okay. No, there was a girl in the labyrinth that was controlling like the pacification gases that gassed all the prisoners, and with 100 speech, she would just give you the code. So I had like not the labyrinth. Is it the labyrinth? The final prison that you go to?
Tartarus.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
on Tartarus.
All right,
I'm sure it's
sorry.
called the labyrinth or something. Anyway, you could like pacify all the prisoners, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can just like gas all the guards. So
I've got thoughts about that, but I'll bring it up in the story.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Side note.
There was one point in the game which I couldn't talk my way out of, but everything else.
Which is why one of the things that I felt as if it was a. I mean, okay, I'm going to compare it to Fallout again. So where obviously you have to be putting certain points into these individual parts. I felt as if the game didn't have a good leveling way. So in the beginning, obviously to get out of certain things you needed quite a low number, and there wasn't much in between until the end where it was like 75-100. There was no in between. There was no like 80s or like 60s or 50, or it was nothing.
It didn't encourage you to pump in like a couple of points.
Yeah,
to just
and
kind of,
and it felt as if no matter what you'd, and also having multiple options for the same thing. So for example, if you put a lot in science, or you put a lot in medicine or something, but there was always like one or two options or three options in those skills to get out of your situation.
Yeah.
Which I guess is one of the reasons why
Yeah,
you
yeah,
managed to succeed in all of them.
Yeah, a lot of the time they had lie, intimidate, and persuade, which before you had 50 points in it were all leveled up on the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just felt kind of redundant
Yeah.
to have all three, because then it didn't really matter what you picked. It's sort of just how you wanted to
Yeah,
role play it. I
There
guess.
wasn't really any like fine tuning of the type of character that
Yeah.
you wanted to be. It was just like
Yeah.
tons of points and pump it all in.
The leveling, I didn't like the leveling.
Did you like the bit with where you could this bit I quite liked, and I think it's quite a cool thing, is you could give your companions upgrades. So yeah, I mean, like you can give your companions different weapons. You can you can level
choose-
their things up depending on whether or not you want them to.
You can choose their loadout and you can choose their perks.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. No, I did.
They've got a much smaller perk tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the
The problem
perks.
is, I've got issues with the perks as well.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So I'll start with
So am I.
I'll start with the companion ones. They're the same for every companion, other than like 2 or 3.
It's,
I think I completely missed that. I don't remember giving any perks to any of my companions.
you need to. That's
I
what
did- I
mean.
didn't-
It's so
I-
easy.
I-
You didn't miss much then.
Yeah,
That's
it
my
doesn't
issue with the
add
whole
much.
perk system. All the perks are very lackluster.
And they're all very similar to.
They're basically just
Skills.
more numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah.
They didn't
yeah.
give you too
It's like,
much.
You can carry more
Added
stuff.
thing,
You
yeah.
can do
Yeah, it's like
25% more damage
plus
if you
10
hit them in the
armor.
toe. Yeah. It's just the leveling system, in my opinion, was shite. Like it was just pretty crap. In comparison, I could think of
Plenty of games.
plenty of games out there. Yeah, even like indie games and like even bloody Children of Morta, which I mentioned on the other podcast. Even that has a better leveling system, and even though I was complaining about that, even that is slightly better than this. Like, it was, it just felt because it was easy as well. It's so easy. I reckon if I didn't put anything into any of those things, nothing would have changed. I would have walked in with my 1,800 damage plasma gun and just killed everyone anyway. It doesn't matter.
I think a lot of it comes down to not having any real incentive to make proper decisions with your perks. Like, because you weren't using them to fine tune a character, there wasn't like you are significantly better at persuasion, but you take a hit to, I don't know, gunplay or something like that. And there was no real trees. It was like you can pick any of these, and you can pick any of these, you
Yeah.
can pick any of these. So obviously you're just going to go for the ones that give you the biggest advantage
Yeah.
to your gameplay. That wasn't
And on that note, persuasion, that side of it, was the most broken thing in the game. Like,
Yeah, I felt that as well.
it was ridiculous. But when I maxed out persuasion, I didn't have to do anything. The game basically deleted itself. I was just like, every single encounter, everything you get into,
Persuade you out
it's
of
just
it.
like you pickpocket like I don't know, the mayor of Cape Town or whatever. You pickpocket them, and then they just turn around and go, "Hey, you!" And then you just go,
I didn't do it.
"I didn't do it." And then they're just like, my mistake.
yeah.
It's like, Jesus, man.
I didn't pickpocket anyone until quite later on when I had to get something off someone.
Yeah, it was the one thing I will say is, I can't remember what it was called, but the perk system where you get a perk with a
decrease of something.
With a
Yeah, I was
drawback.
like,
Yeah.
And
I
then-
quite like
that was
yeah.
really cool. I really liked that.
And it was
yeah.
based on what was happening to you in the game, like
Yeah,
you
what
kept
happened
getting
in
killed
that
by
situation.
acid damage or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought that was really interesting, and I wish I saw
Yeah.
more of it because I only had about 3 in the whole game. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely.
Oh, I didn't actually take. I didn't like the idea of being like dying a lot quicker to something else
I think-
to then taking an extra perk. 'Cause I thought the perks were useless.
Yeah,
I took one early game
Yeah,
because I hadn't realised how boring the perks were at that point.
Yeah,
In
Yeah.
hindsight, I probably wouldn't have bothered.
Mm.
yeah.
I walked on too many landmines.
Yeah, the landmine. I felt like the
that's-
landmines in that game, you either had a fat load of them or there was none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like at
There
one
was
point
never
you
just
just
one,
bang,
was
bang,
there?
bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, or it's just like
These ones weren't even protecting anything. They were just sort of clumped behind this house for no reason.
yeah,
I think mine was from full damage, the perk that I got.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
I got that one.
yeah.
You know
I
when
think
you-
everyone gets that.
Do you do that thing where if you're going to like an objective, you just jump the whole way there? Is that
Yeah,
just me?
I don't wait for lifts. I just You know when you land at the landing.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes you gotta wait for the lift.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
no, just jump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
If you
yeah.
jump at the right moment, you hit the lift as it's coming up, and then you get like a little step down.
Oh, I didn't do that. I just jumped
Oh,
onto
no,
across
I
the building,
just-
just slid down it a little bit. And
I just break my legs.
Yeah, but so that side of the perk system I thought was quite cool, and I wish I saw a lot more of it.
Mm.
I almost wish the entire perk system was like that, because it would have been really interesting to have a character, towards the end where you're like, oh my science weapons do so much damage, but acid will kill me in one hit. You know what I mean? I think things like that just adds a bit more to it instead of just like 10 more armor and
Yeah,
rubbish like that.
the character just needed some personality, and when you were
Yeah.
just so overpowered, like you weren't frightened of anything.
I'm so
you
glad
weren't-
you guys think it was easy as well, because I listened to another podcast and they said it was really hard, and I was like, "Are you taking the piss?"
Have you ever played a game
Maybe
before?
we're just like god gamers.
Yeah, maybe we're all that good, yeah. But it was, I think. Any other points to add about the gameplay?
The stealth kind of sucked. Like
It did.
I wish the stealth
Didn't
could
really
have
need it.
saved it.
Didn't need to.
I wish there was a stealth gun. I
Yeah.
hate the fact that like
Yeah.
you use stealth, you kill
Yeah,
one person,
there's-
and then everyone runs at you, and you're not stealthy anymore. And you're like, well,
You had all that customization of weapons, not a single silencer.
Yeah, there was.
yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, what, it was like more like a pistol? Because
So the way it worked was the first tier of weapons you had less ability to upgrade with certain attachments, and the second tier gave you more flexibility. With
you know the problem with that was
Probably
is that
still using the first tier weapons.
yeah, you use the
Never
first tier
bothered.
weapon
didn't need to
age,
upgrade. They were too strong.
and two, you realise that you don't need to do any of this stuff. So by the time you get to the tier 2 weapons, you never actually look at the benches because you don't need to do anything with them.
The silence pistols are actually
Oh my
Quite
god,
nice.
that might have been.
I wish I had this on.
yeah. But the thing is, the stealth didn't work that well, and the thing with that is, I'll come to this later, but I feel like I would play through this game again in a completely different way.
I'd like to.
But
Yeah.
at a really, really hard difficulty, so I can
Mhm.
take things really slowly and work things out a bit more.
I always want to do more side quests.
But with that,
That
yeah,
makes
exactly.
sense, yeah.
Because some of those are brilliant.
I did them
All the side quests.
all the ones I came across.
Man.
Whoa.
Right, well, I'm looking forward to getting the story with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a shame because even in the hardest difficulty, stealth would have made me want to play hard even more because then I can at least.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Yeah. I think any more points to add gameplay?
I have one more.
Go.
It was to do with the map design.
Yep.
Okay.
I found that first of all, there's too many waypoints.
Yeah, way too many. Yeah, there's no need to walk anywhere. Look,
Yeah.
at all. You just
Yeah.
teleport everywhere. It was ridiculous.
And I found that every building had a quest associated with it.
Yeah.
Every building you
At
could
some
access.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were no sort of just buildings there for you to explore, just
Yeah.
for exploration's sake.
Yeah.
And it really put me off actually exploring.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think,
It's just another quest.
I'll be
Yeah.
here for a quest, so I'll just explore then.
Yes. No, that is a really good point actually.
And-
Yeah.
It just sort of just
It's not like there's some places in Fallout where
Yeah.
I've done
Oh,
it.
wow.
I'm sorry.
I know exactly when there's a Fallout 3 is the first thing that jumps to mind.
Mm.
When you first come out of the vault and there's just a school full of bandits.
Yeah.
There's no quest there.
Yeah, that's what it needs. Yeah.
But
That-
yeah. It's
In
just-
fact, there's nowhere else we can really talk about this in terms of our structure. I just realised. So, the map, the world, the whatever. What do you think of it?
what do you mean?
So,
Yeah.
Looks wise or
no.
Just
I will get to
design.
that as visual. So, in terms of content, yeah.
I think in terms of it, there was. I mean, like you said, I mean, the fact there was a question every single one. I guess in terms of that content wise, there is a lot to do with it, but there wasn't that much differentiation. Oh, yeah, more visual again, isn't it? No, I guess it's not. More, it wasn't that much more differentiation between all the buildings. I felt as if one planet had a certain way about it, but then in those like all
That's world design.
Yeah, I feel like
Is that a
that
thing?
ties
Oh,
into
Jesus.
the setting
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
and like there's a reason why
yeah.
that is.
We'll get there. That's world design. But in
Yeah.
terms of
It's just the waypoint thing. There was just too many. It
Yeah.
made the world feel really small.
but it was really small.
It was quite small.
Yep, it made it feel even smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
didn't
like,
even explore that much though,
You-
just because I felt.
you walk like a couple of seconds and you've got a new waypoint.
And I think that was one of my issues. Like you said, you didn't explore much.
Mm.
There wasn't much to explore.
And not only
was
that,
my
it's
issue.
because
You didn't need
because
to.
you can't you could like once you go from A to B, if you want, like, if you land on an island, a planet, and the waypoint's all the way over there, you haven't got to walk all the way over. You just teleport here and then walk there.
Yeah, but
And
by,
then all
by the
that-
end of the game, you're not walking anywhere. There's no
All that
exploration.
bit in the
It's
middle
just-
That's why I
Yes.
think I did the second half of the game in like half the time of the first
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, I definitely think that the first half was a lot stronger than the second half. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because it felt newer then, but it.
I was excited to play it at the beginning. Towards the end of it, I was a bit.
Yeah. I remember the little notification thing came up saying this is the point of no return sort of thing. Once you do this quest, the game's over sort of thing. And I was like, do I want to do more side quests? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't. I just want to complete it now. Yeah.
That's a shame.
Anything
Okay,
else
I
gameplay?
was gonna say maybe the creatures. They were very limited. I felt like you had the bandits and then the dogs a lot of the time, and then the odd occasion you had the mantisy things, and then the big gorillas, and then the robots.
Character and mobs though.
Is that in that? Is
Yeah.
that really part of that? Okay.
And it could apply to gameplay as well in terms of how you approach them and how you fight them.
Yeah, in terms of that,
So
yeah.
just-
Their weak points were
Enemy
so
diversity.
easy.
Yeah, the enemy diversity was severely lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I should
Agreed.
have gone to the next one, yeah?
No, not yet.
Oh no.
Scores.
Oh yeah.
Scores.
Yeah, so out of 10, what does this game get for gameplay?
Imagine someone's like,
Neither did I.
notice
No.
this bit.
None of us
Like
did.
eight.
So,
on me.
but to be fair, I'm glad no one did because now that we've spoken about it, your score might have changed. So.
can we all like
we all said we liked it, and then I don't think we mentioned that much positive.
That's gameplay. Though,
okay,
so we're
can
moving
we
on.
can we like all put our hands up at the same time so none of our things affect each other and then say afterwards? Because like me like, if I said like a 3, someone else might think, well maybe it really was that bad. It doesn't affect your.
All right,
Do you want to do that?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can have to do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm fine.
all right. So on 1, yeah,
What are we doing?
put your hand up with your number.
Out of 10.
We're gonna have to
We'll say it.
say it.
Yeah. Sorry, listeners.
No, because they're going to hear us all say like a number at the same time.
No,
we'll put our hands up
Score,
first
and
so
we'll go around.
so we don't affect each other and then we'll go around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Count it.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about what number I want to pick. Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, 2 4s and 2 6s. So
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Has anyone got a pen?
So that averages to 5, obviously.
write it down.
No, my phone's about to die.
Write
Oh
it
yes, I
down.
have a pen.
There you go. You can write on there.
Do you mind?
My pad. He's turning it for you as well.
Well, I'm just going to mute the microphone. Hello, sorry, I'm back. Hi.
So me and Ben gave it 4. Dan and Adam gave it a 6. I felt as if, well, we just went through it. I felt there was some positives, but there was too many negatives in my opinion to give it a 6. Like if I'm giving that something like the gameplay a 6, everything else is going to be
Yeah.
a lot better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just you have to compare it to the grand scheme of the amount of games that are out there.
Well,
And
I
it
was
was
doing
just-
it as like 5 is average.
Yeah.
It did enough right to get above average,
You reckon?
but not by much.
Alright, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. It's because nothing about it was. I don't know if like the shooting wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, nothing was really terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think to be fair, I'm happy with a podcast score of 5 for gameplay. That makes it average.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
Bang average.
Yeah. Because it was that. Oh come on, it was average, wasn't it? It was nowhere near.
It was nothing special.
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes it average.
like, yeah,
Right.
maybe I'm just nice.
Maybe. So our gameplay score for Outer Worlds is 5.
Ooh.
It feels a bit
Yeah, it
harsh,
does feel
but
a
at
bit
the same
harsh,
time,
doesn't
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the slightly more juicy one, story.
Ooh.
I feel like they should be in the end, man. Well,
We can do story at the end, yeah, sort of why not. Let's do visual first then.
okay.
Visual, who wants to start?
I'm not starting this time.
It looked good.
It looked great.
Yeah,
It looked amazing.
But it was pretty decent.
it was very colourful. Well, out the wilds bit were.
Yeah.
In the towns weren't, but
Yeah. But that's kind of
story
makes sense
reasons
with.
make sense. Yeah.
And every single planet did look itself different.
Oh yeah, completely different color palette.
Yeah.
The skyboxes were insane.
I thought all the characters were also quite colourful.
What's that?
What's the skybox?
All the planets.
It's
And
where
the
the
Oh,
asteroids and
Oh
the
yeah,
planets
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
I thought the characters
Oh, I
were
forgot
colourful
about
as
the
well.
Yeah.
I think in terms of like pure fidelity. Sorry, listeners. In terms of pure fidelity, it looked very nice. It was still a bit on the lower end in terms of textures and things, but again, AA game. I'm not going to take that into. I'm not even going to take that into
No,
account.
it was
It was-
stylized nicely.
It was
as well.
very nice looking. Very colourful. Like you're right. Colourful
Yeah,
is the
colour
best
is the-
word for it. That is how many different colours they had in there was just
I'm pretty sure there was colours on there that I've never seen in my life.
yeah.
Like there was there was some pinks in there. Pink was a very very colour they used a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot
pink
of
and
pink,
and
yeah.
blue, and is it like a weird darky blue type thing? I felt was.
I found on
Edgewater.
Edgewater there was a lot of orange in the
Yeah.
wildlife.
Yeah.
But that's right. Every planet had its
Yeah.
palette.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what that was
Yeah.
called.
Well, that's a
right?
lovely way of doing it.
Every planet has a
Oh.
palette.
Yeah.
Chunky.
It was nice.
There was
The
for me
one.
there was some like proper standout moments.
Oh, yeah.
With visuals.
Yeah, definitely.
And the one that I want to talk about is the first time you land on the Groundbreaker and you walk out into the shipyard
Yes.
where you've landed.
My
that
lord.
bit blew my mind.
Yeah,
because
yeah. With the dust falling in front of the
yeah,
lights
and
and
you,
stuff.
you turn
like,
around
it
and you
was-
see the scale of the ship, but you really appreciate it for the first time, and you
Yeah.
can see all the other ships parked next to it, and then you
Mm.
realise how big the Groundbreaker is,
Yeah.
and just the ambient lighting of that room, which was huge.
Oh,
was-
I
was
was talking about the
nuts.
bit after that when you go into the Groundbreaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No,
Yeah.
no. But when
The
you
dock.
walk through the doors, out of the
It was
dock.
onto the promenade.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing as well. Yeah,
That that was the bit where I was like, damn. I think Charlotte was next to me when I did that bit, and it was like, I went, Charlotte, look how pretty it is. She was like, cool. But yeah, it was stylized and yeah.
Can we talk about how the visuals fitted the theme of the world as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just sort of purely aesthetically. Like, Adam, you've already alluded to this a bit, but the towns had this kind of darkness and sort of bleakness to them.
Yeah.
Perfect word, yeah.
Full of words today.
Here you are, you're doing well. But at no time did I feel like, oh, this is just boring design. This is just lazy development, and some artists didn't have enough assets and it's just filled this space up.
Yeah.
When you were in the primary areas, maybe when you were passing through the wilderness and you come across the occasional house, it was like, house.
Yeah.
But in the towns, where any kind of occupied area, it felt like intentional. Like the way that the palettes worked and the kind of miserableness of it.
Yeah.
Just
It helped create the atmosphere of the towns
Yeah.
just being this horrible place to live.
yeah.
Pretty much. Space's choice. Yeah, it was. I think is juxtaposition the right word? I lost Dan. Give him one.
So-
Is that like
Sounds like
the
it.
contrast sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Between the wild, the outside areas and the inside was a very key thing, and even the fact that relates to storytelling as well, like, and they always throw in these Space's Choice things at you and stuff, and Space's Choice, these homes that fall out of the sky, you see the adverts for that little box that falls from the sky, and it's like, there's your house, see, and like that. And then going out to the dangerous wilds where it's supposed to be like horrible and stuff, but it's just so beautiful, and you're like, oh, I thought it was quite cool.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, because obviously the communities are encouraged to stay and work and do their job and be part of society, but actually,
all their towns are surrounded by these massive, just like metal walls.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
And they never get to, unless they go outside the walls, but their houses aren't tall enough to see over the wall. So all they ever see is just this metal sheet.
Yeah.
And they never get to see the beautiful outside.
I know, yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
I feel sorry for these guys.
So sad. Right, characters. What do you think about the character?
I mean, this.
Wait, what were we on? We're on visual.
Yeah,
sorry.
Let's talk about the character.
Character and world design. So character models. What do you guys think?
All right. There
Yeah.
weren't anything special,
They were fine.
but they worked.
Pavati, man.
I think the facial
She's
animation
the best.
worked enough to give you a sense of what their intention was and what.
But only just.
Only just.
Yeah, the
Like, you
voice
could-
acting was what carried it. It
Yeah,
wasn't, it was
the
not
voice
the-
acting was great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
100%.
get onto that with audio, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could tell like in their face if they were being sarcastic, if they were happy or sad, or like
Yeah.
a little bit disappointed.
Mm.
But you kind of had to look for it. It wasn't, obvious.
Yeah.
It wasn't state of the art mocap.
Someone's
or
happy
anything.
in their face, you go. Just like pulls up their face and then just.
Did he use the same engine as Fallout?
I don't know.
The character animations are quite similar.
I don't know better.
I can't
Far
think of
better.
it.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Have you played the newest Fallout? Because it might be quite similar to that. I haven't played it, so.
Fallout 4, not 76.
I know.
16 times the detail. What I liked about the way when you interacted with characters.
What was that?
16 times it's a meme, don't worry. The spotlight that zooms in on their face when you interact with somebody, it felt a little bit almost cheesy at first, but I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
The way that it brought them forwards and separated them from the background, it made you want to kind of engage with them and look at them like as if you were making eye contact.
It did make it a bit jarring at points when you would like approach someone from behind and it would zoom
Spin
in and
around.
then
Oh,
the boom. They got really intense eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes, man. The eyes needed some work.
Some of them did.
They were
Yeah.
terrifying.
Especially for like B level characters.
I never wanted to get in a lift again. Like
The way
every
they
time
teleported behind
you
you.
walk into a lift, right? You're running away from your mates. You're like, get the lift, turn around. They're both standing in exactly
Yeah.
the same spot,
It's like-
just staring at you. And then you move left and right, and their eyes are just following you. Like, oh,
Just take Sam and then problem solved.
it's true.
Nice, good point.
True.
Unless you didn't.
Sam was jokes, man. We'll get to the video. Oh, that's robot.
Yeah, I think that.
How did you not get the robot?
We already had 3 people.
We'll,
The robot was in your ship.
He was there when you
Well-
arrived.
we'll get
Did
to
you go upstairs in your ship?
This is one thing. So I wrote down 2 things that I wanted that I didn't talk about in the gameplay bit that I wanted to talk about at the end.
Yeah, you can talk about. Go on.
Okay, so one, I didn't really see much need to go around your ship ever.
Except the character that lives upstairs.
as in like I think no, the only,
Yeah.
the only
I
two
want to
times,
disagree with you on that.
So the only two places I ever went, one was a kitchen because of that woman had a date,
Yeah.
and then literally go onto the ship and go straight to the robot woman where you transfer from place to place. That was it. I didn't see any other reason to go anywhere
I
else.
want to talk about the ship, but I want to do it kind of in the story section because
Yeah.
Okay, you can. I
Yeah,
don't-
but I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying, but I feel like my mind was changed on that at a certain point.
Maybe. I mean, I obviously
I'd
didn't
say
miss a
there
big
was
bit of
no
it.
gameplay reason to,
No.
other than to
Yeah.
get the companions.
Yeah, in
Which
terms of gameplay.
obviously I
Or
completely
for
missed.
like quests.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
would say there are reasons which comes into the character parts.
Yes.
I mean,
What's
yeah.
your other point?
That they had a lot of secret places that was quite hidden
What?
that I found.
Not on the ship, I assume.
No, not on the ship, no. As in like places that you had to do a lot of parkour to get to,
Oh.
and then there you'd have like a secret little like box or something inside that you get like
With another gun, which you already had.
well, a lot of the stuff. But it was something that obviously if that side of it was a bit better, it could have been really cool. I mean, for example, one on the Groundbreaker. Right in the beginning, there was a lot of jumping across you had to do, and you go up right at the top, and you get in there, and there's like a little. I was like, oh, that's quite cool. I should look out for them.
To get one of the science weapons on the Groundbreaker, there's a science weapon on the Groundbreaker. You have quite a surprised look on your face, Ben.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What weapon was it?
It's literally a quest for it.
What weapon was it?
The hammer.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do a bit of parkour to get up to that, and it's in like one of the hidden parts of the ship.
Which is quite cool, but it just wasn't enough of it. But anyway,
Yeah.
we've done gameplay. We can't change the
Yeah,
story.
sorry. Yeah.
Hey, what we got visual. So
So who's this robot? Sam? Oh no, it's a little I'm
characters.
sorry.
Like, yeah, the characters looked fine. That was it. The
Yeah.
world looked a lot better than the characters that were within it, in my
Mm.
opinion.
Yep.
Well, it's fun.
World was fun.
Mm.
Yeah, it was great. What a wonderful world.
Where did anyone notice on the navigation system that there was a lot of planets you couldn't go to?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that all about? Was that just like God of War-esque DLC?
But I mean, God of War, there was only like 2. that you couldn't go to. This one had like 4 or 5. It's ridiculous.
Maybe it was they shouldn't have put it in.
That's why like when I got,
Maybe it's DLC.
maybe when I got to the last quest and I got the warning, I was like, well, I haven't gone to these planets
I was
yet.
wondering that as well, yeah. But
Like there's loads more.
Kind of makes sense from
It's
a
old.
storytelling perspective, I guess. If they're just like planets with nothing on them, they just exist in
no,
the
they had
solar
like little
system.
padlocks or something, didn't they?
Yeah, it did. Some
Yeah.
from a,
Oh, that's weird then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure about
I,
that.
as well, I was curious because you said that you did like all the side quests. I was curious as to whether you.
Well, I think
got to
I
see
did
the
all of
planets.
them. I
But
did all-
you did everything you came across. So
Yeah.
I would expect you to have at least found one of those planets, but apparently not.
I didn't go digging in like every nook and cranny and talk
Yeah,
to
yeah.
every person,
Nobody's got time for that.
but I picked up a fair few.
Visually,
all ratings. Okay.
ratings.
Uh,
Anything anyone else has to say? Forever hold your peace.
Almost story based.
Warping into a new place and looking out of the
Oh,
window
yes.
of
Oh,
like,
my
the
lord.
captain's deck.
That was probably like my favourite thing about the game. I reckon
Yeah.
that was just so cool. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's just like when you zoom there and it does a proper like Star Wars like thing, and then you just see the planet and all the asteroids.
I liked the animations your companions did on their special abilities.
Yeah, special abilities.
I didn't know that either.
Oh no, I did.
Yeah.
Until you had to unlock them. You had to get like 40 of a certain.
Do I have to select
determination
something
or
for them to be able to do it?
Yeah, you don't get them by
I
default.
thought I had them at the start.
No, you have to unlock them after a while.
Like I said, I didn't plan that much ahead
No.
of my character creation.
No, they were cool, but they got a bit repetitive because they were the same
Well,
animation
I
over
just
and over.
I
and
just
over
picked the
again.
one that never got old, and that was Felix because he literally just ran and drop kick stuff.
Brilliant.
It's just like,
Did you know that?
I don't know either.
well, you only got 3 of the companions. Did you even get Felix?
No, I'll be honest with you. Towards the end of it, I didn't even carry it. I didn't have anyone with me.
I'm so looking forward to
I just
talking
ran around
about
on my
characters
own.
in the story.
You know what I didn't like as well is because you have the option of having companions, but then it also had perks where almost being like a lone wanderer.
Yeah,
And-
that's standard.
Well,
for that.
yeah, a lot of RPGs have that.
And I didn't realise that your companions would be that important, so I started my character with being a lone wanderer. So by the end of it, and I felt like because the gameplay was so easy, having these people as well, they were either take away some of the people,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
Or-
Felix with his fucking grenade launcher was ridiculous.
or they'd help.
Do you know
me
Felix
kill
is?
him. I wrote the names down. I do. I got. Oh yeah, no. I wanted to kill him, but
Me
I
too.
couldn't.
I couldn't stand it.
I couldn't. He
I
was
didn't
so
like him.
annoying.
Nuts.
I hated him as well.
I used later
Right,
on.
let's-
now.
let's-
Yeah, anyway, sorry, yeah. Visual. Anything else to say
No,
about the
nothing else,
visual? No.
Other than I hated Felix's
Alright.
face.
I loved Ada's facial expressions.
Ada, yeah.
The ship
yeah,
AI
yeah.
when you were talking to her.
Yeah, I liked character-wise, she was great. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get to that. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wait,
Does anyone know their score?
Yeah, I got my score.
Yeah.
This is a hard one, you know.
yeah, I think I've got it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh. So we got 7 and 8, a
Wait, don't put your
7
hands down.
and a 9.
Dan, you're generous, man.
And I've got a 9.
Uh,
He's a visual man. He's a visual man.
I am quite visual when it comes
Yeah.
to appreciating.
And for me, I'm
Games.
not a very visual man, so things that stand out and are quite like that.
Am I allowed to change my score?
That's the
Oh, it's
idea
gone
of doing it at the
down.
same time, isn't it?
I guess we've got that.
No, that's what, yeah. I was going to give it 8, but...
So what's that?
And then I was like, oh, you're generous. And then I just thought about all the moments that you were talking about, and I was like, oh, maybe I should give it an 8. But
It's the lack of other planets that
yeah,
brought it down for me.
there wasn't enough.
And the
for
thing
an
is,
RPG.
the fact that they had them on the menu, but
Yeah.
you couldn't go to them, really bothered me.
Yeah. For
So-
me, it was brought up by the standout moments that
Yeah.
just completely blew me
Yeah.
away. And it's very rare that an RPG game will make me want to sheath my weapon and just take it in. And it did that a few times for me.
Yeah, no, it was
It
good.
really blew me away.
I regret my score, to be
Look
honest.
at this. This annoys me. How can you think that visual was one better than gameplay?
It was.
Because
One better.
Oh, one bit. Oh, no, that
Yeah.
was significantly yeah. Oh, I thought you meant...
He's regretting it now. That is
I just think
mental.
I'm used to playing like old games and games on a crappy laptop, so visuals aren't
Yeah,
really
that's
a high
true.
priority.
Maybe
for me.
maybe I'd have been a whole different one if I still had my old one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's true. Yeah,
If
yeah.
it even run it, that is.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, Kevin, you should have given it like a 10, considering.
I mean, I played it on
Play
my
on
new
the
one
old
now,
console.
and it looked great. But I've just been
So used
to having bad graphics that they don't really bother me.
Yeah.
That's
But
true.
you got a computer.
I've had it for a while now.
Didn't you get one when we was at uni? Anyway.
No, that was my
Um,
laptop.
Anyway, yeah. Right, so Kevin gave it an 8.
Mhm.
Dan gave it a 9. Adam gave it a 7. And Benjamin gave it a 7. I kind of wish he gave it an 8, but it's fine.
I digress.
I digress.
So you made me think I was too nice with my 6, so then I thought I'll be meaner.
Yeah, we'll call you out for that as well. So our visual podcast score is 7.75, which I think is
I'd round it up.
Yeah.
no.
No, you got come on.
No, because I feel like we need
We're
to.
doing it as a percentage anyway, so it's 77.5%, isn't it?
Sure.
Because it's nice because there's 5 characters, isn't it?
I don't remember discussing that.
No.
This wasn't in the briefing.
I mean, the score system was thrown on me, so
Oh, I told you about it before. Anyway,
no, you didn't.
I think we should round it up to an 8 in that case.
I think 7.75 is a good score, and there are definitely games that look a lot better than it. You have to appreciate that.
Yeah, but with the budget available.
That's true.
Yeah, but
Well, we're not changing the score anyway, so let's move on. Let's do
Audio.
audio. Who wants to start with this?
I think so. I mentioned.
Okay, let's break this down into 2, just to make it more
Okay.
concise. Music, sound effects.
Okay, yeah. So I mentioned this to I think you two a bit earlier on. That I felt as if to me there was no music. Obviously there was music, but I don't remember music.
I didn't notice the music at all.
No.
Nope, neither did I. It
And I
was-
think
apart from the menu music, which is quite cool.
And the
Yeah.
little level up tune.
Yeah, which I quite liked as well,
That
to be fair.
And then also certain places you went into had a little bit of music going, but that was very rare that I ever noticed that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that might be due to possibly the warping everywhere. Maybe you missed a lot of it because there was not much downtime in terms of talking
Yeah.
or shooting people.
Yeah.
But it was all. But yeah, in terms of it, I mean, there's no specific moment you can think to yourself, oh, there's enough bit of music going on.
There was
No.
definitely some background music on the Groundbreaker because I remember it triggering every time I entered it because I went there quite a lot back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's that music again. It was there, but I don't remember it.
Oh, this song
Wasn't-
again.
It was a bit like that. But
There
it
was
wasn't
definitely no outstanding music at all.
no, not outstanding.
No, it was. I
There was some
Um,
warp music, I think.
don't even know if there was any like ambient music. I don't really remember any music at all. And that's not. I mean, normally music's really important for me. I love video game music, so the fact that I didn't notice any is a bit of a
Yeah.
warning sign, isn't it?
Somebody's going to write into this episode and be like, what are you talking about? There's loads of music. the fact that we don't remember it.
The fact that all
It's the
four of us
composer.
don't remember it. Yeah, I thought I was just being an idiot.
I
but-
feel like I don't remember it because I was either shooting, so I couldn't hear it anyway,
Yeah.
Or talking.
or talking, so I was listening to the voice
Exactly
actor.
what I said to these
Yeah,
guys earlier
yeah,
on,
yeah.
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 Know what you mean.
Yeah, that's,
What about sound design in general then? Sound
I mean,
effects.
If
all you
that-
guys have said that you think their voices were.
yeah, if
and
that
I think
includes
they were
voice
really
acting.
good.
The voice acting was
Very good.
fantastic. I thought.
Even
Yeah.
sort of like the ambient discussions that you
Yes.
walk
Mm.
past.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was
but-
very clear and
but,
very.
yeah,
It felt quite natural.
it
Yeah.
did, and your companions just chatting in between fights and
I
Yes.
love
really
that.
good
I
as
love
well.
that
I loved
dynamic
it.
so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it made you feel like a proper little family.
Yeah.
didn't it? It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bit of bants.
bit
Yeah.
dance. Yeah, Felix used to die in a hell, in a hell. Anyway, I don't mind which
Doesn't
one.
matter. All of them for good.
Or 9 rings.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. It's probably like 7, isn't there? You're going to correct me. You're not going to.
Adam definitely knows this.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Take care of Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it 9? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Otherwise known as
Don't think it's 9.
Is it
the
not 9? 8 rings?
divine comedy.
Not sure now.
Okay. We'll come back to
Put
that
me on the
another
spot.
time. Sorry.
No, it's not.
is it like 7 Layers of Hell?
Might be
I thought it was
7.
9.
9 seems quite a lot.
No,
Yeah.
It's off topic anyway.
It's very off topic.
I don't think it is.
Message in if you want to find out.
Yeah, we'll Google it later.
Just email Adam on his work email.
Please don't give out our work email.
You were going to say something?
Ambient sound design was, I think, excellent as well. Like not just
Yeah.
the voices, but also I keep going back to all the different shipyards every time you land the ship and you come out, especially if there are other ships around or people working in that environment. Just hearing like the clangs of metal in the background and the drills going and like things like dripping from the ceiling.
The swooshing of the doors, quite like that.
Yeah,
that was quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The on that point, the way they did the audio, depending on what environment you were in terms of echo and room, that was really good.
No.
Like hearing the slight echo in smaller rooms and bigger echoes in bigger rooms, and it felt like they really thought about what sort of dynamic the noise would have in the environment you were in, which was I just thought was really good. Yeah.
I felt like you could. We're going to come back to one of our podcasts where hearing people coming from where they're coming from, it was very clear. It's very, if someone's running around the corner or one of the robots are running, you know exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah, directional audio was pretty good.
Yeah, surround sound was very good. Like you said, listen to your companions. You knew exactly where they were behind you if they were chatting or wherever. It was good. I think sound design wise, it was really good. Actually, quite outstanding. I thought
the gun sound effects were a bit lacking. A little bit
the guns were lacking in general, though. That's what I mean. They didn't have much feel to them. They didn't feel punchy.
But when it takes up so much of the gameplay, you at least want it to sound meaty and sound fulfilling.
The different
the sniper did.
Damage types didn't change how the gun sounded.
That's a shame.
Other than a plasma rifle.
Yeah.
I think that's only plasma anyway. So if you had a pistol that was normal damage, then you made it electric, there was no discernible difference in the sound.
That's disappointing.
I noticed that with my N-Ray rifle. Sounded exactly the same as it used to before the N-Ray. Just meant I got a little more purple on my screen.
But again, the caveat to that, the exception to that is, as you said, using weapons in closed spaces and in like
sounded very
small
different.
teeny areas, you could tell that it's impacted it.
I very much enjoyed the sound of it. It was actually the first time I moved my. So some people might get triggered by this, but before, my screen was in front of me and my speakers were to my right. Both of them, my left and right, were to my right. And this was the game that I moved them over in front of my screen for because I thought it sounded really good. But bit of a lack of, like you said, diversity between the sounds. There wasn't a very wide forte of sounds from what I heard anyway. But
I feel like
the ones they had were good.
The ones they had were very good. Yeah. So, anything else to say about sound, peeps?
Excellent voice acting.
Yeah, voice acting was the highlight for me. For the whole game, voice acting was my number one.
Considering you felt like that's what you were doing a lot between that and the shooting, I think it was good that they got that right.
Yeah.
Right.
The voice acting is what made me like some of the companions the most.
Yeah, me too.
Like Parvati.
She was just adorable, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the voice actor just made her adorable.
Yeah.
Like the way they nailed like her awkward little moments.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Also, when a lot of the characters, that like alternative people you talk to, when they had helmets on, you could tell they had helmets on.
Yeah, that's what I mean by spatial audio. It was so good. Like some of the best I've heard actually.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah, it was. It didn't just sound like it was coming through a radio, if that makes sense. It sounded like they were in a helmet, which was just. I don't know how they did it. I don't know who they had on sound, but top.
Yeah, man, well done.
But in terms of performances, in terms of voice acting, we should probably talk about that now. Parvati, amazing, just so good. Phineas was really good as well. I really liked
Phineas was great.
Ava was good.
Ada was brilliant.
Ada.
She's the black one.
No, she's the.
The ship one. Sorry, who is the black one?
Nyoka.
We all
said like 3 different companions. Is that the black one? No.
Nyoka.
Yeah. Ada was really good.
Yeah.
There were just lots of random dudes that were really good voice actors.
People you bumped into in the streets and stuff. Yeah.
There was one bit of really good voice acting, which was when I found a house full of cannibals. I don't know if anyone else found that as well. But the voice acting of those was really. You could tell that they were up to something just by the way they were speaking, which I thought was quite cool.
And you had the
there's a quest there.
The iconoclasts as well.
Yeah, and they all sounded burly as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just very nuanced and very
Yeah.
carefully done.
Yeah, just very, very good.
At one point, I found a guy. He was like doing like a rat extermination or something. His name was Giles Malone. I'll write that one down. and when he was like, he was quite a nervous character, and it really came out well that that they didn't overdo his nervousness, because like, I mean, you could just almost be stuttering non-stop and be like, but he did it with like a. It was just really well done, and considering that I thought that this guy was such a minute character, and he wasn't that important. He didn't change anything. It was just an extra little quest that you could do. It was so well done.
Yeah.
It wasn't lazy.
Do you think to record that they just grabbed a mic, walked down the street and picked a random person out who looked really uncomfortable and went, "Here's a script, read it."
Maybe.
There's another small side character that does a really good job voice acting. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's the guy that fancies Parvati, her friend in Edgewater.
He was brilliant.
Teach to be a mechanic.
Yeah, he had to find the 3
or
books.
engineer. Yeah.
Oh, I probably killed him.
You kill a lot of people.
Anyway,
everyone.
when you speak to him,
Opposed it.
you can tell just from like his first line and reaction, like that he's madly in love with Parvati.
I tell you what it felt
He
like.
nailed that delivery.
Yeah, it
absolutely.
felt almost like a children's TV show. That the message that they were trying to get across usually came across in one sentence for every character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you could tell what sort of character they were with one sentence.
Yeah.
Like a kids' TV show,
They were
like, you could tell this is
they
the
were
nervous one, this is the female.
Caricatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but without being too exaggerated. Caricatures.
Caricatures.
It's pronounced characters.
No.
No.
I'm doing that.
The first
I
time
still don't know what that is.
you
so
mean
you
no.
won't throw it in.
You know when like a cartoonist will draw a celebrity or something, but really accentuate all of their
Oh yeah,
features?
yeah.
They're like a character whose only trait is very exaggerated.
Yes, yeah. No, it's pretty much like that. Yeah.
But interesting how they made that so believable as well, and not
Mm.
feel too.
Yeah. I mean,
Stretched.
I'm trying not to compare to Fallout, I know, but the difference between voice acting in Fallout and this was night and day. Like, it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. It
Yeah,
was so
definitely.
much better.
Definitely.
Also, I don't really know where the dialogue options would come in, the
Yeah.
characters ones.
Yeah.
But I thought they were very good.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't want to compare them to Fallout, but the Fallout ones,
See, I didn't.
You
like
had,
it
like-
that much.
Really?
I felt like there was two ends of the spectrum of it. There was either, or the options were always very similar in terms of either you're really nice, you're really helpful. There's a bit of like, oh, let's just get on with it, or there was be a dick.
That's more
Yeah.
gameplay wise in terms of the tree, but in terms of what you're actually saying.
Okay, yeah,
those
no, fair
things,
enough, yeah,
I
and it was
thought
quite funny
good.
as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that was
funny,
quite
yeah,
funny.
Is
Yeah,
that a lot
definitely
more
good.
writing and story than sound?
I said writing, but I just didn't.
possibly.
I
Let's
think
do that story.
I can
right.
make it audio related. I didn't hear the character's voice at all.
no. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a lot of games are like that. though.
0 out of
Yeah,
10 voice
yeah.
acting.
Yeah, maybe he was a mute.
I had
Maybe
to do it
maybe
myself.
whenever you say something, you're actually writing it on a bit of paper and showing it to them.
we are going to do a bit on like
Big brain.
characters.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Characters,
Story.
yeah.
Yeah, story's going to be the
Writing
big
and
one.
stuff.
Yeah. So, everyone happy with audio?
Yeah.
Cool.
Score time.
Score time. Everyone know? Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
So we've got an 8. Oh, confuse me with your 2 4s. That's 8, and 9.
Cool.
I'm happy with that. That's good. That is quite impressive.
Considering there was no music.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I mean.
exactly.
If they had a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
10 out of
It
10
would've
straight
been-
away. Yeah,
Just
they nailed
give me a
everything
ham
else.
radio, not a ham radio, a dad's radio on the ship or something, and let me like flip between space stations,
Yeah.
space radio stations.
So, listeners, lovely listeners, Mr. Kevin gave it an 8, Mr. Daniel gave it an 8, Mr. Adam gave it an 8, and Mr. Ben gave it a 9. So we have an average podcast score of audio for The Outer Worlds of 8.25, which is bloody darn impressive for a game that has no music, pretty much.
So whoever done all the voices and well done.
Just
Yeah,
one person
that's-
recorded
Whoever-
everyone.
Whoever did Pavai.
Yeah.
She got nominated for a thing, didn't she?
Did she?
She got
Yeah.
a Golden Joystick Award, I think.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
performance. Yeah.
For performance, yeah. But she was up against Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus, so
As far as I know,
Yeah.
she's an unknown-ish, like
yeah.
A-list.
But it's, yeah, bloody impressive, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, so let's do value and then we'll do story last, yeah?
Let's do value.
Value.
Yeah, let's do story last. Yeah.
Right, value. What do you guys think? You want to stop squeaking?
We got
So
Oh.
value-wise, my playthrough took 17 hours.
Okay.
Damn. That's quite
I
a
don't
lot.
think mine took.
I definitely don't think you did all the
So-
side quests then.
But I only got one ending, and I know there's multiple endings.
There is, yeah.
So
Remind
there
me
is
of one
replay value.
Yes.
So
I don't know how much replay value there is though, because I feel like the main story was quite strict. Like
Yeah,
obviously you can approach each story mission in whatever
was-
you want, but it didn't really branch off in different directions.
it was very much do either this or this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes you could go middle ground,
Mm.
but normally it was either for board or against board.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get to that story because that's a big one. But in terms of value for money, I don't think I'm going to replay it. The only reason I would want to replay it is to see what it's like on harder difficulty, but that's not a good enough reason when there's that many games out there. But 15 hours, I think I completed it in 15 roughly. It's a fair chunk of time, and if it went on for any longer, I would have got bored. I don't know if that says anything about the game, but big games does not mean good games. You know, like Death Stranding, I really really like, but my God, if I get above 60 hours, I'm going to be sick to death of that game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a limit as to how long a game can be, and a game of this sort of the amount of stuff that's within this game, and the amount of diversity and stuff in it, I don't feel like it would have lasted a lot longer after 15 hours.
See, I think there's that, but I think where Adam was saying that nearly every building you go into, there was someone there. So I think for people that like the game a lot, and they're not in it for too much of a challenge, they're more there for the characters and that lot. I think there's a lot for you. I think there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of the game, and if you do want to maybe some people like just to play the game, get to the end, see what it's about, and then going back to it and then going forward. I mean that is one thing I wouldn't mind doing, because I don't think I didn't miss Find a Robot. I think there's a lot of stuff I didn't see in that game. I'll get onto the reason why at the end of it, but I think there is a lot to that game for people that do like it, and if I had the time and more want to play this game, I would love to have gone back and
Yeah, I don't
do all the side quests, because I felt like there was a lot
like
to get more out of
If
it.
you do all the side quests the first time round, and you do a replay to get a different ending, you could probably skip so many quests.
Yeah.
Like there's no real point in redoing a lot of the quests.
There's no benefit of it. That's the
Yeah.
issue. Is that you don't really get much. It's such an easy game. You don't really get much out of
But
doing it.
I wonder if all of our endings are really that much different to each other.
We'll get to that.
As in the bit at the end of when they outline it all.
Like the slideshow.
Yeah, because I wonder whether or not all of our choices and the way we did it are that much different, meaning that there is a lot more replayability, because depending on whether or not for example, I could imagine there'll be no civilization left because you killed everything. Whereas me, I think there was only one planet that I killed.
I only killed one. No, I killed quite a few planets.
But even
Didn't kill any planets.
You guys just.
I only killed.
If we were
I
all
would
in
keep
the
going,
same
I
world,
think,
I would just say to you, don't go to the top floor of the board building in Byzantium. That's so
I would say, you know that lady on the board.
She didn't last very long in my game, but
Yeah, same.
That's interesting. What the final boss Oh, wait, you wouldn't know.
We'll get to
She wasn't there at the end. I can tell you that.
we'll get to this in the story
Some voodoo
section.
magic if she was.
Yeah.
In terms of RRP, Dan, what do you think? You think
Value.
It's hard, I suppose it's harder for us because we all got it on Game Pass. So it's
How
Well,
much
this,
did you
this
pay
is
for
the
it?
thing.
I paid the recommended retail price.
That was 40.
However much the recommended
I'm
retail
assuming
price
it's
was.
40 quid, yeah. Would I pay 40 for that game?
For some reason, Adam didn't think that getting Game Pass was a good idea.
I'm against it. I think it's morally wrong.
You're living in the past, mate.
Yeah, get rid of times. Come on.
It's,
I-
it's
I-
Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Don't support Xbox.
Okay.
PlayStation for life.
I think. Oh,
Fanboy over here.
I think. For me, because the gameplay is such
Dan was
a.
going to say something.
Sorry.
It's okay, carry on.
For me, the gameplay, because it's such a big thing in the game, I think it's lost a bit for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're thinking it's about 30 quid, like that for me knocks a good £10 off of it. If this game came out new for 30 quid, I think I'd be like, yeah, I think go out and get it. So if this game gets about 30 quid, definitely I'd say go for it. Personally, maybe some people are different.
I would pay RRP because I think it's good for the industry at this point.
Yeah.
I think that we need to encourage studios to create 4 games like this that are story driven, that are complete,
That's
that
what
don't
I'm
have bits missing, that are genuinely well thoughtfully made
Yeah.
games. So I would happily pay RRP for this, even if the length of the game maybe isn't justifying that.
I'm not bothered about length. I'll
Well,
pay
neither am
40
I.
quid for a game
I-
that's 2 hours if it's a glorious 2 hours.
Yeah, I've bought my favourite game of all time is a 2-hour game, and I've bought it 4 times. So
Minecraft.
no. Anyway,
Minecraft.
It was a 2-hour game, you didn't even know there was anything in it. Builds a house and he's done.
This is a bit off topic, but still related to Outer Worlds. Did you see the speed run of this game?
you can complete it in like 12 minutes. That's a throwback.
Oh, yeah.
They beat that record.
Oh, okay.
They managed to beat this game in 10 minutes.
How?
That's a throwback because you were able to do that in the original Fallout games.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you can, yeah.
There's a certain
There's so
amount
many
you can complete the
glitches
game,
and stuff.
It wasn't even a glitch really. It was just if you maxed out your luck, you could like complete the game in 10 minutes. But anyway, digression. I think I would play through this twice if there wasn't potentially 3 times. Once on a much harder difficulty to play as a more hardcore first-person perspective, like proper RPG game.
Yeah.
Because if it's so hard that it's punishing me for playing run and gun style, then I think the immersion will be amplified, and I really like the immersion in this game. There is also a secret ending you can get, which is basically where you play as the village idiot. You play as a complete and utter, like brain dead dude.
Yeah.
And I might play it through again just for the laugh, just to see how much I can mess everything up. But the problem with that is there are so many good games out and
That's
coming
nice,
out
yeah.
that I don't know if I could find the time to actually do that.
If it was a really fun game to play and the gameplay was excellent and I really felt like I could mould a character, then I would say it's worth the RRP. But as it stands, like you said, I would pay the RRP. I just don't know if it's worth the RRP. That's my issue.
I mean, how
But
many
you
times
did
did
pay
you
the
like...
RP, and he did, so he's the only one that could stand for himself right now.
On my notes, I just put, I'd say worth.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd say
See,
Okay,
I think
so-
30 quid for me
I've
is,
paid recommended retail price for worse games
oh yeah.
and still not felt shafted.
Mm.
So I feel like I got an adequate amount of fun from it.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
games just cost more now these days.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
you know,
let's score it.
inflation, Brexit, you know.
All that thing, politics.
Yeah.
So as a general guideline for
Yeah.
worth,
rating.
what's it called?
Worth,
Value.
value.
7 is worth the RRP. Yeah. So 7 is
Okay.
you got £40 out of it. That is it. Yeah. And then above that is getting so much bang for your buck. Yeah.
How are we going to factor in
Why
Xbox
is-
Game Pass to this though? Because we essentially paid nothing.
Pretend you paid
Well,
for
I
it.
feel like you
Yeah.
Would you right now
should
pay
get a
40?
vote.
Would you right now pay 40 quid for it? And in your terms, would you?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
get
So
that.
if you do sort of do it,
After
imagine
having
if it
played
was.
it,
And you bought it.
would
for that
I-
much.
after having played through, if I could go back in time, would I still buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, well, that's the score point. This is the whole point. Number 7 is you would do that. If it's an 8, it's going to be better. Because 8, you think it's definitely, it really was worth it. 9,
7's like an average sort of score. I know 5 technically is, but it's we can't be giving games 5 out of 10 if it's worth it.
We're not IGN here.
Okay. So 7 is, I'm making the score up now. Okay, 7 it means it is worth £40. Yeah, it is worth the recommended retail price.
I think that's a good idea.
And then 8 would be if it was worth more than that. If you think that it delivered more than what a normal £40 game would deliver. 9 would be that it delivers a ridiculous amount, and 10 would be that it is just completely insane the amount that it gives you for £40. Like if you could get thousands of hours of gameplay out of it and love every moment.
That's like a Binding of Isaac level. A game cost me like £3.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
that's
yeah.
And I've played
value
like
for some
almost
people.
hundreds of hours on it.
Yeah,
So that's a 10 out of 10 value.
Yeah.
yeah, so like Monster Hunter for me would be a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, cool. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Alright.
Oh, it's a hard one actually.
Yeah. So when you're ready, put your hands up like this when you're ready.
Alright.
3, 2, 1, go. 6.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
So we've got a 6, a 7, a 7, and an 8. Was that Ben? Was that an 8?
I'm at 8. Kevin's 6, down to 7. Okay,
7, isn't it?
Yeah.
right, so Kevin gave it a 6 for value, which means you thought it was slightly less than
I don't
40
know
quid.
whether or not that.
I mean, you did say
my
30
own.
quid's worth. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just, you completely
Okay,
your opinion
yeah,
on that, yeah. I've given it an 8, mainly out of naivety, I think, because I don't know how much more I could get out of more playthroughs, if that makes sense. I feel like there is more I could get out of it, and it's purely out of my own ignorance that I'm not going to play it again. Does that make sense? I reckon if you really did enjoy this game, and I know there are crazy ways that you can do things, then I reckon you could get more than £40 worth out of it. And then Adam and Dan both gave it a 7, so you think it's worth 40 quid basically.
I was content.
Content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The content's a good word.
Good.
Yeah.
Giving us an average score of 7.
Mm-hmm.
So our podcast score for value is 7 out of 10.
Which is average, apparently.
In this day and age. Yeah.
That is that not average?
It shouldn't be, but
It shouldn't be.
It is, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because
Yeah.
5 out of 10 is just
with
harsh.
modern scoring
I feel
systems.
like we
I'm sorry,
should
but
go
if
for
I
a
gave this-
higher level of journalism than the
If
other
I gave
people.
this a 4,
Go for the
5
true
should be
average.
average. Yeah.
Good
yeah.
score.
If I gave this a 4, then that would be on the level of gameplay, and gameplay was one of the reasons why I gave it a 6, because it was worse than. Oh, excuse me. Right.
Right, so let's get on to the. Oh my god,
The
I'm
big
trying to
bad
move.
boy.
Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. The big in. I'll stop moving now. Sorry, Dan. I can see Dan eyeing up the monitor level. Let's get on to the big boy story.
That's what this game is all about.
Literally, who wants to go first? Let's do it topically. Yeah.
Okay.
So, my phone's dead.
Move.
What were you going to say?
Who, what, where, why, when? Who wants to go for that?
Adam wanted to say something. Adam should speak.
That was before he said who, what, why.
No, go on, Adam. Go on.
Okay. I love the saying.
Same.
Yeah.
Because
Fine.
I'm in a sci-fi binge at the moment, and I'm a sucker for some good dystopian
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
I need some good old suffering to
Yeah.
make me happy.
Yeah.
And this super capitalist, like, they've taken capitalism to the extreme.
Yes.
They own
So
your
good.
corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was highlighted very early on as well. Wasn't
If you kill yourself, your line manager has to, like, pay for your, like, missed hours and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so over the top
But
and bleak, and I love it.
yeah, I love it. I thought that was brilliant when you first get that graveyard quest right at the start, and they're like, "Oh, they haven't paid their graveyard taxes," and you're like, "You what? Sorry?" And then they're just like, "Yeah, a guy commits suicide," and then the manager's all like upset about, not upset, like bitchy about it, sort of thing. And you're kind of like, right,
You think it's, oh, she's sad, she's lost maybe a friend.
yeah.
Oh, no, she just has to pay for his grave.
Because you are property of that company.
Space's choice.
Yeah, space choice. Yeah, no, I've.
And even before that, when you first come out the dropship and you meet that one Spacer's Choice guard who's injured,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
and if you choose to patch him up
Yeah, I think I did.
and you talk to his superior a bit further on, and if you mention that you patched him up, he gets his wages docked. Because he was
Yeah, I remember
patched
him
up
saying that. Yeah.
by someone other than a
shit.
Spacer's Choice member.
Yeah, but because he says, don't mention this to my superior,
Yeah.
otherwise I'll lose.
Oh, maybe I was feeling really nice and I didn't mention
You
it.
probably just shot him, didn't you?
Yeah,
Even though they don't have a gun at that point.
He gives you
Yeah, he
his
gives you a
gun.
Yeah, you turn around, you shoot him. No, you need
Sounds
to
like something I'd do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
and
a lot of themes like that run across
a
it.
bit later on in Byzantium
Hated
with
that
the
place.
early retirement program.
That was brilliant. Did anyone else do that?
What was that?
So there's a random lady on the street who, as you walk past her, she basically calls you trash. And you go and
I
talk
didn't
to
shoot
her.
her, don't worry.
And she's this really snobby lady, and she doesn't like the fact people that get early retirement get their own zone in Byzantium. So she asks you to sneak in and sort of see what's going on there. So you sneak in and go in, and you basically go to like the basement, and there's loads of sentry robots, and they just gun you down.
So the retirement program is basically their way of getting rid of poor people.
But it's so interesting because obviously
Well,
there's a
like
problem with
elderly.
Obviously, yeah.
there's a problem with starvation and maintaining the population of all these cities as well. They don't have enough food. They're trying to, keep people alive.
That was the whole thing of
supposedly.
what's his name?
And if not everybody does their part, then supposedly civilization will fall down. It's interesting.
Mm.
What were you going to say, Kevin?
I can't find his name on here.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Sanja. Is that him? One of the
Oh,
Indian blokes.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
one of his main things was
Yeah.
about making it so that making the city wealthy and all that, wasn't it? I think at one point.
Yeah, because his whole thing was his planet was quarantined or something, or blockaded,
Yeah, so he couldn't get help from the
and
board.
he
Right.
wasn't on the board, I believe. They were an
Yeah.
independent company, and
Yeah.
his whole quest line is to get them on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, so I know everyone that's listening has played the game, so we don't need to explain what the board is doing. The board is basically the government, and they run shit in what's the place called? Begins with H.
Halcyon.
Halcyon. Yeah. So, and you go across Halcyon, you go across all these planets, and
That's pretty true.
every single planet has a really interesting story. My only quarrel with it is that they all run along the same sort of flow, if that makes sense. So they're all so similar in a way, and it kind of just makes it a bit, towards the end, you'll be like, oh no, the board's bad, okay. You know what I mean? It just gets a bit dead by the end, in my opinion, but
It was kind of like same story but different
circumstance.
name. So it was like
Yeah.
Spacer's Choice, Auntie Cleo's.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't remember the others.
Yeah. It was
Sublight.
Sublight, yeah.
That one was interesting. Did you do all those quests?
No, I almost went back to do that and then did the final mission and just finished the game.
The main
That bit I regret actually. Out of all of it, I don't like the idea. I kind of like it, but I don't because obviously it warns you. But once I finish it, I was like, I have to do so much to get back where
You
it
can
was
always reload
again.
a save and go back and do it. But
I had to do that at one point
from a
because
narrative perspective, it wouldn't
It would
work to
kill
go
me.
back and redo stuff.
Yeah.
The way this game is built, like, what? How does the sublight thing work?
you basically do a couple jobs, and then she keeps warning you about someone tailing you, and
Oh yeah, she was well paranoid.
you
about
think
that.
there's like, oh, there's some big conspiracy, and you're right. She thinks there is a conspiracy. She thinks it's aliens.
Yeah, I do
Yeah, I
remember,
remember
this.
that bit,
Yeah,
actually,
it's
yeah.
on
And
And then
Groundbreaker.
you
isn't it?
go and
Yeah.
you go and investigate. Like she tells you to go kill this doctor because she's like a sleeper cell or something.
Yeah.
So you go talk to her, and she's like, "No, this lady's just crazy."
Yeah, no, I
I
remember
was-
this. Yeah.
I was trying to,
Yeah.
uplift humanity so we can actually eat
Yes.
the native
Yeah,
food.
I killed them all.
Probably,
Groundbreaker.
probably could have guessed that.
I think the storytelling was assisted greatly by the voice acting. I mean,
Yeah,
if
again,
it
it
wasn't
was-
for the voice acting, the story wouldn't have been fantastic. But I know what you mean. I am also a sucker for dystopian shit. I just love it. Yeah.
The one thing I found with it all is that a lot of what you do, I don't know if it was necessarily, I can't remember if it was all to do with the main storyline because all the side question storyline got very mixed to me. because I didn't so off with each other.
Mm.
That all your choices and what you do, they all resulted in you either helping someone or killing something. So, for example, on the very first quest, when you go to that little town, you either have to give all the power to this town to make them survive, and make this other little town completely die out, even though it was dying in the first place, which is one of the reasons I did kill this town off, because I didn't see much point of keeping all the power there. Or it was to keep these having the power and them struggling, and then this little place just struggling as well, and they might not survive.
I think it's so interesting.
There is a middle ground with that one.
Yeah.
Was
I
there?
don't know if you did that.
I think
Oh,
I
no,
did.
no.
Yeah, shooting the mayor in the face,
not,
right?
Not shoot them all.
Oh.
No, I
I
didn't
mean,
shoot.
that is one way to go.
No, I didn't shoot them all. I just stopped the power.
I know
from
you,
there
can,
and
you have to
then-
choose where the power goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you choose,
Oh, did they come off?
you can convince them to go back to town,
Yeah.
and you can convince the current mayor
Mm.
to step down and let the lady from the other place take
Oh.
charge.
But what if you shoot the mayor in the face?
That's what
I
you-
think the
yeah,
lady
yeah.
takes charge.
That was your first experiment with the game mechanics, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
was you seeing how much can I really influence this game's economy
Yeah.
and political system. So you
I
just
mean,
put it in him.
That lady, after you shut down that lady's power, and you say, "Why don't you go back? They need you." She says, "I'll never go back whilst
The mayor's in charge.
the mayor's in
Yeah.
charge."
Oh, that's so
And you
interesting.
can literally just go kill the mayor.
So that's interesting.
Well, I did all this before I even knew about the power because I didn't like the way he spoke to
Okay, you
me.
may have,
He was a
may
dick,
have
mate.
been a bit
He was a dick.
He
Yeah, so
was.
I shot him straight in the face, and guys, imagine this, right? I was one skill point away from not having Pavati in my game at all. Because I shot the mayor in the face right in front of Pavati, and she was like, "What the fuck have you done?" sort of thing, and I had to persuade my way out of it, and I was literally 1 point above on the
Yeah,
persuade thing. I was just like,
but you don't know whether or not talking through it, because I'm assuming Pavati might have been a...
it's too black and white. I think most of the dialogue things are quite straightforward. It's either if you can persuade it, you win. If
No,
not,
but
then you're screwed.
I feel like sometimes, even if you... This is one of the reasons of why I felt like the skill point numbers were such a... almost insignificant, because you could always do them. Because even if some of them you couldn't do, you could do one of the other options where it wasn't a skill thing, but then later on in that conversation you had that option to get what you want again with the skills, and then you'd win your way through it. Which is why I said to you, like, maybe even if you hadn't have done that, you could have worked your way to a point where you did have a skill where you could work your way out of it. I don't know, but it was one of them. I mean, it would have been very sad if you didn't have it. Oh my god, your whole game would have been so much
I
different
know.
if you didn't
Can you
have
imagine? I probably would have given this like 2 out of 10.
Yeah, she was a highlight.
But
That's interesting. I didn't know you could do that. I really wanted it to work out, because in the first instance I was like, well, this Edgewater town's horrible. Why would I want to support them? And I really wanted the small garden community. I can't remember what they were called. The
The Ewoks.
The outcast.
The outcasts
No,
or
the-
something. The deserters. Yeah.
Deserters.
I really wanted them to prevail, because I just kind of appreciate what they were doing. They were standing up against capitalism, and they were doing their own thing. And they were being independent. And the more I spoke to the various characters, I think it was Pavati that convinced me
Right at the end, yeah.
that actually this isn't a very good idea.
Yeah.
For this to work out in the favour of the greater scheme of things, you need to convince them to go back home. And I ended up doing that. And that was kind of a really interesting moment for me, because I was so morally determined to do one thing, and then a character in the game convinced me to do the other thing.
This brings me on to something. We should do something now. Okay. I want us to try, if we can remember, to go through each place,
I've got
And-
no chance.
and just if you can, and
It
what,
summarised it all at the end.
Oh, I've wrote all that down.
There you go.
yeah, the thing at the end. Okay, cool.
That should be enough of a reminder, I think.
Yeah.
Right, so let's start with Edgewater. So I'll start. I walked in. The mayor was really sarky with me, and I was like, I wonder how free flowing this game is. So I just shot him straight in the face, shot both his guards.
Did he go down in one hit?
Yeah. He was that much of a pussy.
Makes it even funnier.
And then Pavati was like, "What have you done?" And then I convinced her to join me because I have some mad persuasion. Then I went off to the power plant. Went off to the Ewoks or deserters, and then went to the power plant. Then I was like, "Well, I've shot the mayor anyway. then I thought I'm going to be even more edgy and divert the power to Edgewater anyway. That's right. So I diverted the power to Edgewater with no mayor there. And then...
Did the deserters just stay doing their own thing?
Well, at the end, in the slideshow thing at the end, it said that I basically fucked the whole planet. It basically said, like, with no mayor to run Edgewater, everyone lost their purpose and they all died. It was something like 90% of the population of Edgewater died. The other 10%, like 5% managed to find the deserters and live with them. I know that power did go to the deserters, actually, yeah.
Okay.
5% managed to go to them and live with them, and the other 5% are like not accounted for.
So
or
glad
something.
I
It's
didn't
just
pick
like,
that.
See, this
Great.
is what I mean by your endings could be so much different depending on what you,
That's
what
why.
you did. Which
That's
is
why I want
there's
to
a
do
lot
this.
of-
I want to see what everyone's
Ben's
picked.
just chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
What could cause the most chaos?
What can it do to make this
To
interesting?
be fair, I got more and more normal along the way but it was good.
The characters really grounded my decision making actually after a while.
Yeah.
Because at first for me it was a game, and then it became more of an immersive RPG experience.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
Mine was just like, Pavati, please don't be mad at me.
I
Buddy, I love
remember
you.
very early
Please.
on, I was going through all the dialogue options with her, and I accidentally like tried to fire her, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you? Oh,
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh no, Pavati, that's not what I meant. Come back."
reload. Yeah.
I was really upset when I found out she
What
was
did
a
you do,
lesbian.
Edgewater?
God, Kevin.
I was like, yeah, this girl seems interested in me. And it's like, oh, I really love the technician in there. And I was like, bro, I thought we had a thing, man.
I know she's a lesbian, and instantly you go, bro.
Dead.
She's like asexual as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
She was just such a good character,
Yeah.
man. It was so interesting. Copy me, dick.
Oh, I basically just gave the power to the.
Deserters?
No, I was
Edgewater.
yeah.
Do you remember why?
Capitalist, jeez.
Did you tell the deserters to go back, or were you just like,
No, I didn't go back.
Oh, so you just left them to die in the
Yeah.
wilderness.
Nice, man.
I didn't really need to.
I sent them all back, but the old lady was so pissed off at me, which I felt terrible about, the leader of the deserters, that she stayed behind and she had nowhere back to go. I didn't realise that you could convince the mayor to step down. I think I tried, but I couldn't.
Did you
work
shoot
out
the
a
old
way to
lady in
make
the
it work.
face?
it's really
No, she stayed behind and died like pretty shortly afterwards, just being
So you
lonely
basically
and
shot her in the
grieving.
face. It's just
Kind
you
of
didn't do
sad
that
ending.
trigger.
Yeah, you verbally shot her in the face.
Yeah.
Killed her slowly and painfully
Yeah.
instead. Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah, like I said, I gave power back to Edgewater, and then convinced the deserters to go back,
Mm.
and then convinced the old lady to take charge if I could get rid of the guy.
What
And
does the
shot him in
man?
the face.
And I was originally just going to shoot him,
Yeah.
but then I got the dialogue options of like, she'd be a better leader, and it's like, what proof do you have? It's like, she's managed to grow crops,
Yeah.
and it's
What
like,
have you done?
oh, how'd you manage that? And I thought, should I tell him? 'Cause she's using corpses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
she
then you
was.
tell him, and he's like, "That's genius." It's like,
But that's quite cool already. We've all done quite different things
Yeah.
with that.
yeah. The only negative bit of Edgewater had was
Overpopulation?
about 2 days after the old mayor
Mm.
left the town. He died, got like killed by marauders.
Wait, he just left?
Yeah, no, I think I
Yeah.
heard that actually as well. I think I heard that about him
Where
dying.
is he
Yeah.
going to go?
Well, he says
Died
he's
in
gonna
mind as well.
either sort a pill for early retirement,
Oh.
which in hindsight
He was basically
is a bit darker, or yeah, he says he probably won't survive outside the walls.
Oh, so he kind of
for very
accepts
long.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But then he's a Spacer's Choice man.
Yeah.
And he failed the Spacer's Choice family.
Wow, what's next?
All right, let's not go through everything because
The timing.
time. All right, we want to go through everything.
Whatever sounds
I
interesting.
think
Let's
the
go.
Groundbreaker one's pretty cut and clear.
Yeah.
You help him with
The
your
basement side of it wasn't.
What basement bit?
There's people in the basement.
Oh, every time I went down there, I either got shot or I didn't have.
Yeah, I just killed them all.
Yeah, I just killed them all.
I was friends with them.
Oh, yeah,
Why
I was
did you
chill with
manage
those
that?
guys.
What
yeah.
they like.
Yeah.
Because all my dialogue options just went straight to them being like, oh no.
Yeah, it's because you're a sniper.
But I had no other option though. Like every
Yeah,
single
'cause you're
dialogue
a sniper.
choice.
when you get persuasion and stuff, and lie and intimidate and all this stuff.
Okay, so you must have got an option where you could use that. I never get it. All my options, none of them had any levels or anything.
Did you
could
upgrade
use.
lie and intimidate and persuasion and things like that?
Not start.
That's why.
So you must have got an alternative dialogue option to me.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I didn't think you could get that. Because all of mine, literally, I go down there, I talk to them, and all my options.
Does what I'm saying make sense?
Yeah.
Any of them that I press, they would just instantly shoot me.
Yeah. So if you upgrade persuasion, lie, and intimidate, and things like that, then your dialogue tree will be different.
You get more options.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in
They
all
were,
those games.
those guys, they were a bit nuts, but I was chill.
Dude,
with
they
them.
were chill, man.
Yeah,
liked them.
I was like, you're right. They was like, yeah, you can just walk through and grab it, whatever.
Yeah, same.
All right,
Yeah.
sweet man, see you
They're
later.
pretty hostile to me,
Yeah, well.
so I killed them.
Fuck, man. I'm bare pissed off now.
Killed them all.
This is why in RPGs you always go the dialogue path.
It's one of the reasons when I went down initially and they started shooting me, I just ran back up because I was like, I don't want to kill these guys. Because I thought if I kill these guys, everyone up there's gonna be pissed off at me because I've killed them all. Obviously, that didn't happen. For
No
some
one
reason.
upstairs cared.
Yeah, no, they didn't know. That's what I didn't. Because also, I was thinking, is it Lion? Who's the other lesbian?
Junlei.
Junli. Yeah, I thought she'd be pissed off. 'Cause I thought she was kind of controlling them down there.
She can give a shit.
I wasn't really sure.
She just wants some radiators working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was the fuck provided. No,
Yeah. With the poems.
Can we cut that bit, please?
I've got a poem for you. A bit full on.
Yeah, their whole thing was really cute. I love their little.
I love that. The only thing about that entire
They dragged.
chain of events, no, it didn't drag. I thought it
Didn't
was
drag?
great, back and
Wow.
forth, and arranging the dates, and seeing her like eyes light up when she got a new poem and she got to read it. And she
Yeah,
got
yeah.
excited, and then taking her to the bar to give her some advice and all that.
Mm.
The only bit about all of that was really disappointing was the whole build up to getting her an outfit for her date, and I was like, oh, this is cool. You're gonna get to see her in something. Huh?
I swear you didn't see the outfit.
No, you
That's
don't.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's the point. That's what I got. It was. I know it's only a silly cosmetic thing, but when there was that much build up to it, and you were talking about the outfit, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna get to
That's
see
one a
her."
bit of eye candy.
Yeah.
Dressed up all
It's
nice.
Not for your eyes, Dan.
No, but she said, "Look, what do you think?" And I was like, "You're still wearing the arm."
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I remember that just being like,
Say.
well, unless you just bought exactly the same costume again.
I just paid 3,000 for this.
It was loads of money. Though,
I loved the dynamic between them and seeing that kind of bubble and come to the surface.
I think that lots of the companion quests were really good.
I loved. Yeah.
Apart from the black girl. I hated
Should we
it.
talk about the companions quickly and which ones we got, and which ones we didn't?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go to companions.
All right.
Although I'm curious, back to like how your playthrough went with Monarch,
Yes.
which is the second planet you go to, where you find the black girl.
Oh,
Yeah. Is it the one with
Sanjar and
Yeah.
the Iconoclasts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. That was one of my
who
favourites.
did you help in that?
Iconoclast.
Iconoclasts.
I helped Sanjar, I helped him.
Sanjar.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I don't remember.
You're the whole other world.
To be honest, no, I'm just trying to work it out. I must say, I really, although I didn't completely 100% agree with the Iconoclast, I loved the dynamic between the leader of them and Vicar Max. That was one of the best conversations in the game for me.
Who?
Which leader of the Iconoclasts?
The fella, not the lady, if that's what you mean.
Sorry. Who's Vicar Max?
He's one of the. Oh, we'll get to that in the companion.
Oh.
Is he another
my
companion?
favourite.
Yeah.
He was my favourite companion, apart from.
Well,
There's so many companions. I had.
There's 6.
6.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Anyway.
I don't remember who I helped. I'm trying to find it.
I want to change my
Um,
scores.
I
So I
helped-
want to change them all.
I brokered a truce between them and made them team up
That's
and
cool.
work together.
That is cool.
I don't remember going.
Man, there's so
one
much
way
of this
or
game
the
that
other.
I've missed out on.
Because you know the big
I hate this game.
ship crash lands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They both want the gun.
That's right. Yeah.
I basically held onto the gun and forced them to parley.
Awesome.
But they would only agree, Sanjar would only agree to the truce if there was a change in leadership in the Iconoclasts.
Okay.
So I killed the dude that was in charge of them.
This seems like a parlay. Yeah.
Okay.
With the blessing of the woman leader.
Yeah, she was.
Because you find out that the male dude did some like really bad
Yeah.
past atrocity.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he was my boy.
Yeah, and the
He
woman's
was-
a much better leader.
She
anyway.
was the one that asked for food and water and medicine
Yeah,
supplies
rather than-
Oh, her,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
she was
weapons
printing
and
press.
stuff.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, I
again,
didn't
though.
understand that print. That was a bit of a.
It's a propaganda,
He was-
wasn't it?
I hate.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
think-
really interesting because did you know? I don't know if you guys had this as well on the last mission. Did the Iconoclast help you?
Both did.
Presumably not.
That's
No.
cool.
Yeah, so
no,
when you-
they hated me by the end of it.
Yeah, so when you helped the Iconoclasts in, they both helped you.
Yeah, they both came to help.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
So presumably Sanjar's things.
Yeah, they can help.
Yeah. So for my Iconoclast, I suppose if either way they come, it's not that big of a deal. anymore, but-
That's right. I guess that's why you said there was a third option, wasn't it?
Oh, no, I
because
think
I was always saying there
Yeah.
was like either you help one people and the other people like die almost.
Yeah.
But then you said there's a
Yeah,
middle ground,
I always,
which
I
is
always tried
correct.
to
Yeah.
go for the middle ground.
I didn't know that you could do a middle ground.
You couldn't always do it. There were some cases it wasn't.
Presumably with these games, there's always an option to do something in between. Normally, you just have to think about it.
So I got help on the last mission, but I had to do something with my inventory or something weird, like tab in the game or something. And I went and stood in the corner whilst people were like fighting outside and shooting each other in the dockyard. And I came back out and everyone was dead. So
Yeah.
I'll bring that up later because that's a quarrel I have with the last mission.
There's been a lot of problems in the last
The
mission.
last mission wasn't great.
Yeah.
But okay, let's keep going through the places then. Let's just finish them off. So
What happened with
Byzantium?
the Monarch? Byzantium. That one didn't really have a
the city.
I don't really remember.
split choice.
No, it
That
didn't.
Fancy city. with
No,
posh people.
it was like how are you going to get into this guy's house because he's on house arrest, and how are you going to get through certain things, but there wasn't any moral
One sec.
complexity there that I remember.
Kevin's confused. Byzantium is the really posh place.
Byzantium was the
Massive
fancy
I
place.
thought that was Halcyon.
No. Halcyon's the
No,
entire
Halcyon's-
system.
Halcyon's
What
the
did they use there?
collection of
No,
planets.
The
so the
solar
solar
system,
system, the
the
where all
galaxy.
the planets together make
Oh, my
Halcyon.
whole brain has gone all.
Byzantium is, you know when you bought the £3,000 dress?
Yeah.
That's Byzantium.
Oh, that they hated me with what at the end of it.
Yeah, I killed them all.
that's the only city that I gunned down in the end.
Yeah.
I killed a fair few.
I got really. They're freaking lifts in that place, man. They're confusing.
Yeah, they were.
You go in one lift, you go up it, and then like the arrow's going down. You're
Yeah.
like, well, I've got to be down there, and then you go back down the lift, and it's back up there, and you're like, where the fuck am I going? Like,
So this was interesting though. Your point you made about I don't think you made it yet in the podcast, but about how miserable it was, but how you felt like it was supposed to be particularly miserable there. And that sort of resonates with what you've been saying. You know how we were saying,
It
like
was the-
visually, the
It was
world
the
is beautiful.
disappointment of hearing about this major golden city that was supposed to be like the pinnacle of
Felt very
society.
small.
It did,
It did,
felt
didn't it?
cramped.
Yeah.
And when you got there, it was like just plain and boring.
Yeah, it was
and
shite. It was my most hated place by far.
and the people there were just
Wasn't there for long.
boring.
they were, weren't they?
And
It's by far like the shortest bit.
Yeah.
I hated that entire city. But again, I think that was almost intentional. Like this is what the pinnacle of high class capitalism looks like.
But it's like we were saying about the visually, you know, the world's looking so beautiful, and what we were saying about the high walls and the really boring samey buildings. It's literally just that taken to an extreme, isn't it?
The one that you
Extremely
expect to
high
look
walls
the
and
prettiest
extremely tall,
is the
boring
most
buildings.
boring.
Oh, I remember the choice. It wasn't like a big choice, but when
Yeah.
you steal back the whatever gas you're stealing back,
Ah,
To wake up the
you can
people.
either take about a quarter,
That's
or
right.
you can take all of it.
I didn't realise that they were going to die in absolute agony.
Yeah, I didn't realise
That's
that either.
cool.
But I don't think
I was just like, I'm here now. Well,
I,
might as well take all of it, right?
I took it all.
Yeah.
So we all did.
So we all saw them just all just like squirm around and die and choke.
Well,
to death.
I think it's because you don't realise at the time. If I knew that was going to happen
It
to
makes
them,
it relatively
In the
clear.
hindsight, taking it all gives you the most benefit
I can't remember
yeah.
what
Your
the
end.
difference is.
yeah, but you don't know what
because you
happened
can
otherwise.
Revive
Oh,
wake up
the Hope's colonists.
a lot more of the
Yeah.
colonists
Yeah.
in a faster rate, so you can get out all the scientists and
Yeah.
engineers, and you can
Yeah.
rebuild a lot quicker.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's kind of like making a short-term sacrifice for the long-term good.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I think there was a fair bit of that in this game.
Yeah. Right, so that's Byzantium. We didn't do anything different.
Can
really.
I have a little note on
No.
one of the people? Is that you know when someone asks you to find you have to go in someone's office at one point,
Yeah.
but she's not there. and then you have to go find her, and she's in this like basement. And then when you find her, she's like, "Oh, don't kill me,
Oh,
because
yeah.
another killer, what you want to call him, a hunter, another hunter was hunting her as well."
Okay.
And then I ended up talking him out of killing her,
That's cool.
and then she ended up giving us both money. But then I think you had to tell someone that you'd killed her.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, what am I going to tell her? So I shot her anyway. And then I think the first time I took Felix, is that his name? Who was the dude?
Yeah,
If I remember
yes.
this bit.
I don't think I had this.
I did.
Oh, didn't you?
I didn't do it the same way, but I did this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Felix. The first time I took him out because I didn't do any of his quest because I hated him. Because the first time I took him out on a quest with me, he was like, "I want to talk to you." I talked to him, and he's like, "Oh, why'd you kill this person?" And I was like, "Piss off." I tried
just
to
got
shoot
him.
him, but obviously they don't die. So I was like, I just went back in the building and left him in there.
I think companion for him. Sam doesn't care what you do.
He's always
Sam
happy.
He just
though.
wants to clean.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did get a Sam. We'll get into that anyway. Alright, by the time Tim...
Max.
Shut up. I killed him. If he's who I think he is, I'm pretty sure I killed
He's
him.
from Edgewater. He's the vicar in that town.
He's in the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I killed him.
Imagine if you killed Pavati when you did that. Oh my
You could
god.
have killed Pavati if you played it the way you played.
I
Before
didn't
you...
kill everyone.
But imagine if you did.
No, we got into an argument or something.
So you killed him.
You was like,
I
I'm
can't
done with
remember why
this.
I killed him. I killed him for some reason. I can't remember because we went in
I
there
quite
and he just
liked
started
his
shouting
quest
at me.
line.
I loved it.
You went and got high on shrooms.
Yeah. He was one of the
And
most
found it in a
interesting
piece.
characters.
He pulled out a gun and started shooting me. No, it wasn't a gun. He pulled out like a baseball bat or something. Does he have like a melee weapon?
I don't remember what he starts
He has
with.
a baseball bat and a shotgun, I think.
Yeah, he
Oh,
pulled,
yeah.
so he literally, we had an argument and then he pulled out a baseball bat and just came at me and what am I going to do?
He was the character that taught me the most about the religious and spiritual ideologies of the world.
Yeah.
And he was one of the people that I disagreed with the most from the get-go, but also one of the most interesting people to debate with and
I'd say-
learn about.
He had the largest character growth.
Yes, 100%.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Right, we'll go into companions in a
Okay,
sec.
sorry,
Let's
yeah.
do the last mission. Yeah.
Right.
So let's do everything up to the last mission. So there's a whole sequence of events. You go back to Phineas's lab. He's been taken, and then they're like, "Oh, we can warp the Hope." Is it called?
Yep.
To the Phineas's lab. So let's do that, and then you do that, and then you Phineas gets taken to prison. Meanwhile, so you go and fetch him out. Is the plan? I don't know if there's any other way around this, but you go and fetch him out.
Well, you could hand him in to the board.
Damn.
Oh, can you? Well, that's it. It's just game over.
I assume so. Well, not game over, but you get a different ending.
Yeah.
Well, like, every board person you speak to is like, do you know who Phineas Wells?
Mm.
And you can hand him in there. Like, right at the beginning of the game.
Fuck, I remember that actually.
Oh,
I feel like
yes.
I'm gonna have to play this again, man.
This is what I mean. There's quite a
Right,
lot.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you know, there's a board, like, ambassador on the Groundbreaker.
Yeah.
Like, his first question to you is like, do you know
Oh, I remember that.
the
Yeah,
location
he
of
asked for
Phineas Wells?
information on
And you
this.
can just full on just give us a location away there.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, he gets taken, and then you go to the prison, which
Tartarus.
is called Tartarus,
It's not
and
Tartarus.
then you proceed with one of the worst closing missions in any game
And the
ever.
final boss battle was
Sucked.
shit.
It's
so
the whole
much.
last
Before
sequence
that,
was awful.
You get contacted by the adjutant
Yeah.
board lady,
Oh yeah.
and she says, go to Phineas's base and then transmit his location on his computer. And you can do that to basically screw him over as well.
Oh.
Or
Oh yeah, no, I do remember.
or
that.
you can send the corrupted code, which Phineas tells you to send.
I think I did that.
I did that. I said
Yeah.
the corrupted one. Yeah,
The
yeah.
thing is, you send the corrupted code, and then she says, "Good job, come back here, and I've got another task for you."
Mm.
And because of the choices I made in Edgewater, because the deserters were basically in charge, she told me to basically go kill the town.
Oh wow. Oh, they're very connected. I like that.
And I said no, just straight off.
Mm.
And she's like, "Do you really think you have a choice?" Because I'm like in an office surrounded by guards.
Then did you pull some mad Matrix shit?
I did.
Like
I
a
just
360.
I just said
That's
no.
what I mean.
One shot to the head killed her, and then just killed all the guards.
But if you were playing on Supernova, watch the leg there. If you were playing on Supernova and you're in that situation, you wouldn't be able to do that, and that's why I think it's so interesting to look at this game from a perspective of.
On that last level, when you get like before you go to the boss, someone pops up on the screen to talk to you,
Yeah.
and it's someone from the board.
Yeah.
And the guy that I had said this would have been this lady speaking to you because she's the chatty one.
Oh, really?
But you know how that happened. Like he was referencing that I killed her.
Oh wow,
So I think I got
that's
a
nice.
different
I thought
person
that was-
to speak to at the end.
That's interesting.
There's always going to be stuff
What-
you miss in multiple choice.
What did you
games.
guys do with the chairman if he was still alive at the end?
Shot him in the face.
Yeah.
Hey.
He shot at me immediately.
Yeah, the chairman was in like an office. Did he?
Yeah, because
Oh.
I killed the lady.
Oh,
I
that's
had
interesting.
I had no like skill check dialogue options to try and win him over
Yeah.
because it was just too like every option I chose just ended in him saying "fuck you" to me, and that's verbatim. He literally tells me to fuck off.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hashed it out with him. We came to an agreement, and then I shot him in the face.
Do you remember what you did, Kevin? The chairman. He was the guy you find just before.
He's in like the little
Finding
filming
Phineas.
room.
Yeah.
No, don't remember.
That's an issue I have with the story as well.
What?
The individual board members got like no FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
There wasn't much characterization with the board members. Like the board had its own sort of character, but the individual
Yeah,
members
it
were
was
like,
like an entity, wasn't it? In
Yeah.
itself?
You didn't really feel like the board
It's-
were actually that big of a thing, in my opinion. Like they were, but there wasn't anyone you feared.
I mean, the more
Not
you learn about
character-wise,
them,
yeah.
No.
the more incompetent the board appears.
yeah,
Well, it
Yeah.
just makes sense with everything. Doesn't it?
You kind of wanted it to be a
Because
bit
you
more.
see how everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they had those individual board members that still seem like a threat,
Yeah.
I feel like
Or at least give
end
you.
villains would have been a bit better, and the payoff would have been better, blowing him in the face.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I literally spoke to this guy once.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw the chairman once.
Have you? Did you see the video of him?
I saw the video, but I mean,
Oh yeah, I saw him on TV.
Did you go to the
Broadcast.
his office
yeah.
in Byzantium?
Yeah.
Did you fight your way in there?
I killed him.
No.
No, snuck in.
I killed him.
Sneaky
I remember.
beaky like.
You killed him.
Side
Killed him,
door
yeah.
type thing. There's some renovation work or something.
Oh, I killed everyone in there and then went in there.
I killed most people. in
I got stopped by the secretary, and I said someone's touching his stationery, and he just let me in.
Yeah, I think I remember that as well. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so the last mission was pure garbage.
Although I quite sorry, the bit where he that thing you get right at the beginning where you can was it like change your
Yeah,
physique,
like the stealth
Cloak.
the
thing.
cloak bit.
Yeah.
You
I thought that was use that at the end, don't you?
You can get the guard's ID,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you basically have a stealth cloak for the
Yeah.
entire last mission. I didn't kill a single
exactly,
person
yeah.
until the boss.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I didn't kill anyone either to the boss. I just walked through it or when
I walked through, and because I helped so many towns, so I had the Groundbreaker crew
Mm.
come and help me.
Yeah.
I had the Iconoclast help me. I had
Sanja.
Sanja help me. I think I had someone else help me, but I can't remember who.
this guy doesn't have it himself.
But yeah, I just walked through, and I got stopped twice because the thing ran out.
Yeah.
Past the dialogue thing,
Yeah.
just carried on my
That was
way,
easy again.
and yeah, until I hit the boss, that was the first thing I shot.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about the boss
Which
then.
kind of just, I regret taking that guard's ID.
Mm.
You didn't miss much.
No.
It was a garbage last mission.
Like,
One of the worst I've
so-
played. For
I know it was
a
just
while.
like loads of
Rings.
guards, but
Yeah.
it's still
Really
a bit
boring
more
environment.
interesting
It
than
was
just
just-
literally walking past everyone.
It was in rings, right? So you started at the bottom, then you went up to the next
Yeah.
Yeah.
elevator, and there was another ring, another ring. So I cleared out the first floor, which was a pretty tough fight because they come from both angles, right? You shoot on that side,
Not
shoot
with a
on that side.
1,800 damage plasma.
It wasn't that tough. I'm just saying it was
Yeah.
like tougher than most other fights in the game, but it wasn't hard. So I cleared out the first floor, and then I found a little room on the opposite side, and I was like, and there was a lady in there running, as I said earlier on, the prisoner pacification system, had like a acronym or something. She was trying to fix it. She had a password for it. Apparently, you press this button and it puts all the prisoners to sleep.
Oh
was
yeah.
like, cool. You know what? This combat's like boring by this point, so I just kind of want to fly through it. So I was 95 persuasion. I needed 100 to get the password off her. I found the helmet in my bag.
Yeah, I know.
Stuck that on, solved that problem. She gave me the password, and I was like, all right, dope. So I pressed the button. She was like, you're going to turn it on, are you? I was like, yeah, I'm going to turn it on. So I pressed the button. She was like, all right, whatever. So all the gas filled up the room, and I was like, cool. Waiting for the gas to clear up, so that was nice and simple. And I went upstairs, and I realised that it only works on the first ring. So basically, I already wiped out everyone in that ring. I put all that effort to making the gas go out.
Oh,
Went
yeah.
upstairs, and they were all still alive. So that was it. Yeah, I shot my way through. Boring. Really disappointing, to be honest.
It was poor. It was piss poor last mission. That boss
Boss fight was crap.
me. That was dreadful. It's like, don't worry, we got the riot robot. Do this.
It's basically Sam, but with a shield
It was terrible.
and a different paint job.
Just talking about Sam.
Not even.
Savage.
It's not even worth. I don't even want to talk about it. It was shit. It was piss poor. I hated it, and I hate the fact that you had to fight him as well.
Yeah.
Like it was just a guarantee, unless there was something that we missed. It could
Probably
have been,
was a
to be
way
fair.
past it.
Didn't seem like it.
No, there was a door that I couldn't get through for some reason.
I know you can hack mechanicals with a high enough
Science.
There you go.
Probably.
science or something.
He might have just walked in and torn the board lady in half or something.
Cool. But yeah, and then the ending. So what happened at the end for everyone?
Like I said, I feel like I got the happy ending on most places.
I mean, mine said the place was better than it's ever been. That everyone was basically even in terms of their wealth.
Yeah, basically, it'll take a generation to fix the colony,
Yeah.
but it's fixable, and all the hope people are like the
So
brightest
everyone
minds.
rescued Phineas, yeah?
Yeah. He ended up dying. I think he probably dies in everyone's playthrough.
Yeah, he does, like 5
Years
years
after,
after or
yeah.
something, yeah.
So,
I still find it weird that you end up as like the head of the government.
Yeah.
It's like I feel very
Yeah.
underqualified.
yeah. So I had to work with the chairman. He was like my right hand man, so he did all the admin stuff and the after party.
Chairman.
The chairman of the board. I basically took him under my wing, and he ended up basically doing my dirty work for me, whilst I
So
sat back
we
and
killed
told
him.
him to
So
do.
we literally had to run the government by ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't
I-
need no chairman.
I didn't want the hard paperwork stuff.
I mean,
The Edgewater mayor drank himself to death in my playthrough.
Oh. He died in mine too.
mine got killed by bandits.
I think mine did as well, actually.
And then they stole his hat. It specifically mentions that someone saw a marauder with his hat.
Right. Time's getting on.
Side quest people.
Shall we talk about companions?
Companions.
Yes, let's please talk about the companions.
What side quest?
Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get all 6?
no, but that was out of choice. So I
Okay.
found basically because I could only have 2 in my party at any one time. I felt that I just wanted to have the same 2 all the way through the game wherever I went.
Yeah. Well, I
In
always had the
hindsight-
party, but
In hindsight, it would have been nice to have them at least in the ship. I think just to see that dynamic develop because in the ship, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Firefly,
yeah.
the sci-fi series, right?
Yeah, well, not all of it, but
It's like amazing sci-fi.
I've heard good things.
It's amazing. Anyway, it's got that kind of vibe, family environment on the ship.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to have that. Felix, I did his whole interview, and then as the thing develops and the conversation developed with Felix, I realised that this could be a potential companion, and he just wound me up so much. I'm sure there's some progression to him, but I just couldn't
not
bear
a lot.
with the idea of having him.
Not a
at
fan.
all.
I think, imagine how. Oh, like usually sometimes you can hate a character, but like you hate him for certain reasons. This one, it's just annoying.
He just
There was
wound me
nothing
up
good about
so
him.
much.
He was a character that you would have been so much better without it in the game.
I had no desire to have him on my ship
No.
in my crew at all.
I felt like getting rid of him, but I felt really sad getting rid of someone, especially because he was so happy at first. As soon as you hire him, he's like, "Yeah, it's brilliant, thank you so much." And then when you start talking to him, you're like, "Piss off, man!" You know,
Yeah,
He
I just said
does,
he was.
he does drop kick stuff though.
you
And
said
that is
yeah.
quite
It's got a point.
entertaining.
But I didn't even know you could even get
He'll literally
secondaries.
drop kick anything.
Can you imagine if you just a playthrough with you and him?
Oh, God.
You and your right hand man.
I used Ellie a lot. I quite liked Ellie.
I didn't.
Now, who is Ellie? All right, listen, Adam, you've had all 6 companions, haven't you?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so go from one at a time, and so let's go through the ones that we all had. Pavati,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Incredible.
all the side quests done. Loved her. She
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
adorable and just such a lovely character to be around. Agreed. Any other points to add? We've spoken about Pavati quite a bit, so we don't really need to.
Yeah.
I just loved how much she kind of grew up, I guess,
Yeah.
in terms of leaving this planet where she'd always been, never really gone outside of it, and
Yeah.
then to take her on her first like big adventure, I thought was really
I
exciting.
like her little bit at the end
Yeah.
where she forms like a good friendship with the ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
apparently,
Yeah.
so my ending, should we say the ending we got with her? My ending I got with her is she moved into the Groundbreaker.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
I
was
got a
very
different
popular. A lot of people wanted her because she was good at fixing things,
Oh.
basically. She moved in with, Junla.
I got
You
a,
lie.
I got a different ending for her.
What happened with her?
She stayed on the Unreliable and
Really?
formed a strong bond with Ada. Ava?
It's
I
interesting.
can't remember the name of.
I think it's 88.
Ada.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's stuck on the
That's
Unreliable.
really cool. Okay.
And
Yeah.
But
formed-
did you get her and Junla together?
yeah, I did.
Oh.
So I don't
Ada's
know why.
obviously got more of a
Yeah.
More charm.
spark.
Well, kind of weird because Ada and Sam kind of have a thing,
I didn't.
I don't know if you
Sam
ever
for
noticed.
ages.
but they have like dirty talk. So I walked into the cockpit of the ship, and Sam's like cleaning the consoles near her, and she's just going, "Yes, Sam, oh, clean those consoles. They're oh so dusty." It was really weird, like sexy talk.
Maybe that explains why every single time I walked onto the Unreliable, Ada would just go, Captain, when you see Sam, can you tell him to come down, please,
Yeah.
or something? That
And also,
makes so much sense.
You can ask her who her favourite crewmate is, and she'll say Sam. Like,
Oh,
no
man, that's
hesitation.
interesting.
Spe- Speaking of Ada, I loved the way that she showed all these subtle signs of sentience coming through as
Yeah.
being developed as well. Like, you could tell she was a ship and she was programmed and had these preconceived notions and things.
I like how you can call her out on it as well.
Yeah, and she's kind of like,
It's like no.
backtracks a bit.
No. Yeah.
Cool.
Next, right, Bavatu, all other good.
Bavati, great.
Next,
Should we talk about?
Felix. Should we just get
Felix,
Felix out of the way? Yeah.
I did his quest,
Same.
and you go to a sort of old friend of his that's starting a revolution.
Like old employer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you find out he was talking a load of shit, and he was paid by the board the whole time.
Yeah. And you come back and kill him.
And yeah, I
That
killed
was
him.
it.
And Felix is kind of like, I
Fair
don't
enough.
know how he feels at the end, but I think I got a happy ending for Felix.
I can't remember, to be honest. But
He realizes he's not good at anything other than labour, but he's content with that. So he gets stuck in.
Kind of summarises who he is.
yeah.
I mean,
Just a
he-
nobody in his arsehole.
I mean, labour's got to be done,
Labour
and
has
he
got to
accepts
be done.
that fact,
Yeah.
and he seems pretty content. with
Felix
his end.
sucked. Let's move on. Next one.
I mean, he does drop kick people.
Okay. Apart from that one minor
Saving
thing,
grace.
Felix sucked.
I mean, no one else was drop kicking people.
Who else we got?
The
Should we talk about Sam?
The
Because
drunk-
we've mentioned Sam. A lot.
Let's talk about the drunk one because I think all of us have
Drunk
it.
one.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, because you have to
no,
get her
no.
for
Do
the story.
Oh,
Okay.
Gnocchi.
Yoko.
Well,
Yeah.
you meet her
Yeah.
in the main story.
Yeah, so everyone knows who Yoko is.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
kind of chilled on my ship for the most part. I didn't really.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was
I
just
didn't
pissed on my ship.
use her much.
Her side quest, you end up having to try and go meet her friend or something.
You have to bury all of her
Hunting
friends.
You do, yeah.
And
medallions,
then
That was another
Killed
bit that was.
the Queen.
I didn't like
Mantis.
that.
Yeah,
It was
that
all
was-
right. I didn't like the enemy design on those queen things, to be honest. I thought it was
Plasma
really
straight to
boring.
the chest, just over and over again.
Yeah.
Until they go down. It's like,
I didn't really like her. She was okay.
Endwave just ripped through those.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how it
I don't know for anything other than those. Yeah, robots, yeah.
So no one, everyone's a bit
Quest was a
indifferent.
bit.
Yeah.
Indifferent on her. Yeah.
I did like that. You were saying the Firefly thing and how they felt like a family on the ship.
Mm.
One of the times I remember is she was teaching Bhavati how to
Shoot the
shoot.
gun.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I love that
That's
scene.
nice.
I thought that was cute.
Really
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, I love that.
Right, how many companions did you have? 3.
We've spoke about them all yet.
So I've got all. Okay, right. Let's get on to Sam then.
Sam.
So Sam, Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
Sam is upstairs on the ship.
Switched off.
So you
You
just go over and
literally-
turn him on.
You know
She
where
needs
the
to go
bedrooms
upstairs,
are?
That's it.
Huh?
Basically.
You know the bedrooms. You know the kitchen.
You never went up. Did you
I know
go
the kitchen, yeah.
Right.
No, I know the kitchen because, and
right
I might
at
have.
the end before the last quest?
To
No,
get into the kitchen, you have to go past the bedrooms.
No, you don't. You can go up from the
No,
other.
no, 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 no.
Oh.
I think one of the only times it happened was when I set the two lesbians up for their date, and then you get teleported out of the room to let them do their date, and then you have to go back in from the bedroom, I think, and you just go into the kitchen and then just Felix is just chilling there in their date as well, which I find weird. But
Felix is so
Yeah.
good.
yeah, that was it. I just didn't.
Right, so Sam was up there. Sam is great. I loved Sam.
Sam was cool.
Yeah.
He was nice to have around. I
Just so
didn't.
happy.
Yeah.
He's just has no character.
What does he look like?
It's robot.
He's robot. You know
Does he
the
look like R2D2?
you know the mechanicals.
Fair point.
You know the walking mechanicals.
Yeah.
Not like the three-legged ones. The like human-shaped-ish ones.
Yeah. I'll have them.
He kind of
yeah.
looks like one of those,
Oh, okay. Oh,
but green.
You know, like super droids out of Star Wars.
yeah. Oh, okay. Them.
You know,
Oh,
the
one of
silver
them.
ones.
Yeah.
He just talks about cleaning.
Yeah.
How much he loves cleaning.
Yeah. Talks about his product.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Line and marketing himself.
I got his happy ending as well.
I think I did as
He
well.
caused a surge in sales in his sandwich.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
I think I did as well, actually. Yeah.
Surge of sales and his
proud of him.
product basically.
Oh.
It was
Good job,
he was
Sam.
great.
He's
I
going
loved
to
Sam.
clean the world.
Yeah. One enemy at a time.
Who's left? Ellie. I didn't get Ellie.
Ellie's
Decided
in the
not to
medical ward on Groundbreaker,
She's trying to get through to talk to her mate. Or
Yeah.
Something, right?
and you basically go, I'll just go in and talk to her instead because no one seems to stop me from walking into these places. Which, fair enough. I can't remember the quest that you have to do before she joins you.
Is it her friend?
Friends in like debt or something?
No, is it not her friend that's on another planet on the meteor thing, and he's trying to bring supplies or something, and he gets captured by raiders?
That's a different medical quest.
Okay, cool.
That's the actual medical quest. This is like a different one.
She's
So
got like
this
short
one-
orange hair or something.
Her friend put herself in quarantine on the medical ward because she's hiding from a debtor,
Mm.
which is the board. And you basically go negotiate with the board to settle her debt. And once that debt's settled, Ellie will join your crew. But she's like she's a doctor, so she gives you like the medical buffs.
It's quite cool.
But she has like this fantasy of like being a pirate. I mean, she was a pirate, so it's not really a fantasy. But
What was she like then?
she's like a adventure seeker kind of
That's
character.
quite cool. Yeah.
Fills a gap, I think.
But
Yeah.
she's like born into wealth. So her parents live in Byzantium. So she's from
Okay.
like a rich family, but she left all that to go do illegal stuff.
Mm.
Fair dues.
And you actually go and she takes you to visit her family in her quest,
Mm.
and she tells you to just be like really rude and horrible because she wants.
You didn't do that though, did you?
I started off being nice, and then Ellie told me off, so I like, spat on the floor.
Sorry, yeah.
You spat on the floor.
But then you found out that they claim she died to collect her life insurance, saying she tripped in hills or something. It was a really rubbish death. And then you basically go and reroute the life insurance payments back to Ellie.
Okay.
I think I got her happy ending as well. She sort of takes that money and goes and makes her own crew
Buys loads of drugs.
Mm.
and does her
Pirate
own
stuff.
some of it legal.
What does she look
Some
like?
of it illegal.
She
Sort
gives
of
standard.
short ginger hair,
Yeah.
Oh,
quite
okay.
pale, female,
Kind of okay, yeah.
legs,
Your bog standard ginger good
arms.
legs. Good bone.
Too far. And then Vicar
Max,
Vicar Max.
Max.
my favourite, by far.
He was my
Favourite dead
favourite as
human.
well. Of all the people I killed, I enjoyed
I
killing
don't know
him.
how you angered him.
I don't know. He pulled out a
peaceful
baseball bat.
He asked you to go find a book.
What did you say?
It's like, go find this heretical book so I can burn it. But he doesn't burn it.
He was just
wants
the
to
most.
read it, but it's in French.
That's
Yeah.
what happened. Go find books so you can burn it. What happens when you go find the book?
You bring it back to him.
No, but is there anything else that happens? Is there another option? Because I think there was another option.
I just,
Maybe it was your dialogue thing that you
the
got.
book wasn't hard to find. I think it was just laying around somewhere,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Sitting on a shelf or something.
That's like just the intro bit to his quest. You take the book back to him, and he wants to read it to like divine the secrets of the universe.
Unlock the equation.
But it's in French, and he can't speak French.
Oh,
So you have to go find
So you have to go find a translator.
translator who happens
I
to be
did something to piss him off, and I can't remember what it was.
Somehow, I can't quite remember the jump between translator and the
the hermit.
mushroom lady,
Yeah,
but you end up getting high.
has some crazy psychedelic
Scylla.
trip where he sees his parents and
Yeah.
has basically a spiritual awakening on the spot. It's kind of profound. It's quite well done.
But your character's there at the same time.
You're all
also
tripping
high.
together. Yeah.
And the
Pretty
other
strange.
companion you have, who is also commenting all the way through. I can't remember what I had.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, it was me, Bavati, and him the whole way through the game. Basically, I think that what I loved about him was he was like the window into the spirituality of this world. And although it was only
Does
one
sound fun.
form
Yeah,
of
it wasn't-
spirituality, it wasn't the
The
only.
whole religious aspect wasn't really touched upon, other than with his quest line. It wasn't really
Yeah.
mentioned anywhere.
No, I don't think it was, except with maybe the iconoclasts, but they had like a different perspective on it. I think they were more about fate, or was it the other way around? I think Vicar Max was all about the equation, which was like the fundamental formula that underwrites everything that everybody does. And if we manage to unlock that, we will unlock the secrets to the universe. But then the iconoclast had like a very opposing point of view. And did you take him with you to see the iconoclast for the first time?
Don't think so.
Because that was a really fascinating back and forth debate about spirituality and philosophy and politics. And there's several moments in it where you're like, do you want us to stop? Do you want to carry on with the game, or do you want to let this continue? And for like 20 minutes, I was just sitting there watching them go back and forth and debating each other's points, and absolutely fascinating. And the first time I bumped into him on the ship, went up to his room and started chatting to him, I was mesmerised by his whole idea of what it means to be a vicar and why his path through life had taken him down the spiritual path.
Yeah,
And although I didn't agree with a lot of what he was saying, it was interesting to hear it, and that's what I loved about his character, is that he opened up that doorway of conversation with various other
He
characters.
definitely sounds the most interesting.
I think at the end he sort of just goes off on his own.
He became
becomes
like
a bit of a hermit himself.
yeah, so he was basically looking after people and
Yeah.
protecting people and just being like a happy, good person after he woke
Found
up.
his inner peace.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Cool.
I loved him. I think it was great.
Yeah.
At first, I hated him, and then I learned to absolutely love
Yeah,
him.
he was pretty unlikable to begin with.
Yeah.
Didn't help that he was
Maybe
always
that's why we
lying
had a
to you.
fight.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we had a fight.
When he apologised to me for when I basically called him out on the lying and the dishonesty, he was genuinely distraught. He was like, "I'm so sorry," and he explained why he was doing it. And I was like, you know what, I kind of
Well, I
get it.
tried to call him out, so I think he pulled out a baseball bat. So
I really connected with him. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I liked Vicar Max. He was alright.
good. Right.
I think that's all 6.
I think we have completely.
Yeah. I feel like we've almost played this game, but through
Let me
talking.
check my notes.
Gone. Any more notes?
I only have
guys?
one final bit, but I'll do it after I have the score of this.
I had something to say about the companions again. I felt like I found them all too soon. I feel like I would have preferred if they were spread more out throughout the game. Because I think, other than one, the second place you visit, you've got more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I forgot about Sam. I remember going up to see him at one point. And I was like, "Oh, there's a robot here. I'll get him later." And then it was like the mission before the final mission in the game. I was like, "Sam!"
Can you take Sam out of the ship with you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a companion.
Yeah, he's got like corrosive. You can't change his weapons, but he's got like twin corrosive
I didn't change anyone's weapons. So.
blasts.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
So I'll say afterwards. We'll do the scores, and I'll say just a point.
Alright.
Badmore. So we ready?
Everyone ready to score?
What are we talking about again? Story.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one more thing
Oh.
about the quest design.
Yeah,
I thought a lot of them kind of followed the same formula,
pretty much.
and it was go from point A to point B,
Yeah.
collect object C,
Yeah,
go back to point A.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
other
very-
than the choice ones,
Choice ones are
a lot of
cool,
the quests were just sort of just different scenery, but same
yeah.
actions.
There were a lot of good quests, so again, mainly because of voice acting and characters, like the cannibal quest was quite cool, and I don't know, there was all sorts.
Did you do the actor audition one?
Yeah, I found.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the retirement quest was really good.
I had Frankie. I've forgotten his name.
Steve.
Who's the one we don't like?
Felix.
Felix. I had him with me and he kept butting in. I was like, what are you playing at?
Classic.
I would have shot him.
Did you
He ruined my audition.
You know when you where you go to the place to get the dress for yeah.
You get asked to be a model, right?
Yeah, did you guys do that?
No.
No, because you had to get armor from 3 different places or something.
Oh, did you?
So long.
Oh no, see, I couldn't, because by the time I went back to do the quest, they hated me on that place, so I was shot straight away.
I committed genocide on that planet, so yeah, I don't think they would have had me as a model.
I went to go talk to her, and she was like, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I think for all the things that this game lacks in gameplay, it makes up for in story. And in terms of gameplay, the quest design and stuff is quite basic, but because it has a good story surrounding it, it's very good. Huh?
Same for your score. I want to know your overall result for your score.
Is that how we do this?
That's what we're doing now.
Okay.
Kevin is not host.
Would you like the red chair?
Yes, no.
Okay. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
Story, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh. So we've got a 9, a 9, an 8, and a 7. Was that 7 then?
Yeah. Adam, what was yours? 8.
8.
Kevin, 9, yeah. What's this? Story.
I think for me that ties into world building as well and character development and that kind of thing, not just the plot, if that makes sense.
Yes. What are you pointing at?
That's the same
If
score.
the last mission had been
Stop,
better
don't tap. No, it's not.
and the board had more character,
Yes.
mine would have been higher. Because my favourite parts of games tend to be the villains.
Yeah.
And this kind of lacked a strong villain.
It did. You could have been the villain
Yeah.
yourself in one sense of it, but
I mean, for me, the majority of it was... Okay, this is where I'm going to summarise my part of it, okay? I struggled with the way that you said about Evil Within in terms of having that time limit. For me, I felt as soon as I got to the point where it was like you're gonna go back, I didn't want to start anything in case it was gonna be longer, and I felt like I was gonna run out of time because obviously I don't know how much time I have to play, which is where I lost so much. I mean, half of this stuff that you guys are talking about. I mean the fact that you've got 3 companions.
I mean, that was just your oversight there, really, wasn't it?
Maybe, but
You only got 4.
I felt as if there was.
I don't know, you get 4, didn't I?
I felt as if there was an oversight of, like it's, obviously like maybe the whole game in a month thing maybe lost it a bit for me, which is why the reason why I gave it a 9 was because I felt like there was a lot more that I could have gone for.
Yeah.
And the only bit that I found was bad was just the very last bit of just the boss and everything, and the last mission. The only bit I found real, to be honest, to be quite lacking in terms of it. All the characters themselves, they seem pretty good. All their storylines seem decent. I mean, I didn't do Felix, so I guess I missed out that bit. But everyone seemed pretty. I mean, I wouldn't have continued enjoying it as much as I did if it wasn't for the story.
Yeah, the story and voice acting and the character building is what carried this game. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been able to finish it because the gameplay was not very good in my opinion. So my voice is going. I'm going to cough, so I'm going to mute it quickly. Okay.
I've just been coughing.
How we
Is this muted or not?
flashing?
No.
No, we're good.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
Hey.
So what made it a 7 and 8 for you guys?
I think I said lack of a villain, really.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because villains tend to be my favourite parts of, especially RPGs. You've got to have a good villain.
Yeah,
and the board as this faceless entity didn't really do it for me.
You. Yeah, I get
Which
that.
is a shame because the dystopian setting sets it up perfectly. If they had the chairman present in more of the game,
Yeah,
rather than
been
just
quite a-
sort of tacked on at the end, I feel like it would have been better.
Yeah, I'm with you on the. It almost makes sense for this capitalistic entity to be faceless, to be this blind corporation or something and not have a personality behind it. But it would have been nice to see the motive and the kind of try and understand the reasons why they're manipulating, I guess, the world in the way that they are, rather than just being, we're making money and we're fueling the economy. It's like, give us more than that.
Yeah, but I do like the fact that they did. It wasn't just in your face. The board is this, and it was told through individual stories.
And it was never implicit that they were the villains. Really,
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about that.
So,
I guess one more thing I want to say is it's very rare that I play a game, particularly a first-person game, that I've said this already in this podcast, but I just want to highlight that it made me at certain points in the game put my weapon away, switch to walking speed rather than running speed, and just take things in at a slower pace and just put myself in the shoes of my character and absorb the world around me. I think those moments that I had in the game where I was just talking to people and really immersing myself are a testament to what RPG games can be. And although it didn't do it throughout the entire game and consistently, I think it's worth appreciating just those little moments of full immersion, of being inside a really well constructed, believable, although fantasy world.
I felt as if
that was really special to me.
This game was close to having a lot right with it, because it did have a lot right with it, but the gameplay thoroughly let itself down, in my opinion.
yeah.
And
Realism-wise, every house had a toilet.
Yes, I noticed that actually.
Don't get that in many games.
that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I
Some
remember,
houses had too many toilets.
yeah, because a lot of the times you have to open the door to go into the toilet. Because you open it, you go into the toilet, and you're like, oh, there's nothing here in the toilet.
Yeah,
So you go
every
out
single
like,
time you go in there, there's nothing in there. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh, yes, hello,
These-
toilet.
These are the
I
things
remember-
I check in games.
Yeah, but
toilet
I remember
ratio.
the first time I went in there, and I thought to myself,
There's 300 people living in this town, no toilets.
It makes sense to consider these things.
All right, guys, keep talking. I'm just tallying up our score.
Yeah,
Ben is
it's
doing
going-
some
yeah.
mental maths right now, not using a calculator.
I don't think I can pad with more toilet talk.
Nearly there.
It was
One more.
It was a fun experience.
It,
I want,
yeah.
I want more. I mean, I think the thing is, we need to appreciate these games whilst they're out, because I know this is so cliche to say, but when Cyberpunk comes out next year, there's a good chance it's going to set a new bar for these sorts of
Hopefully.
games. I hope so too. Yeah, genuinely. It's nice to appreciate these
My
things.
mental maths is so terrible.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just looking at the scores
Also, I
here.
think we should support this game so Obsidian make more.
Yes.
Yeah, Obsidian have it in them to make much. If they had a bigger budget and more time and more staff and everything like that, they could have made a banger.
And the timing of this release with Fallout 76 going on as well was just on point.
Yeah.
They released it at the perfect time to almost
maybe they knew.
parody the entire situation of capitalism, especially in the video game industry, by releasing a game about capitalism. It's great.
Right. As our conclusion of the moonlighting of the Outer Worlds,
That was longer than I expected.
yeah, we are going to give this game a percentage out of 100%. 100% being the best game of all time.
No flaws.
No flaws at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone excited?
Yeah.
Has everyone seen the number already?
No.
Not the total.
Not seeing
Ooh. All right, so we'll go from lowest then.
You're going to go for the categories first? Which percentage we gave it for which category, or not?
I think.
Yeah, I know I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you can
as
do
an
that.
average,
No,
all of
it's-
us gave gameplay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
times by
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So yeah. Nice. Yeah. I can do this. So for gameplay, the podcast score is 50%,
Ooh.
which is fair. I'll take that.
Ooh.
Everyone agree with that?
Yeah,
that's
totally.
the average.
Yeah.
So.
No, 70 average.
Nice.
Below average. Visual. The podcast score.
I don't support this
The
average score
The
system.
podcast score is 77.5%.
For visuals.
Mm.
Nice.
Audio,
Take
we've
that.
got 82.5%.
Damn.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Especially, I think, voice acting was also
Especially with no music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very impressive. If they had a good
Yeah.
score in there, that would have been a lot higher. Value, we've got 70%. And average. And story, we have 82.5%.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
about right in my head.
So now I'm going to go through our scores. Okay, so each one of us, I've tallied up the scores that you've given for every category, and this is the percentage that you've given the game on average. Okay, so start with the lowest. Is me and Kevin have given it 70% average. Adam, you've given it slightly above average at 72%.
Oh,
And Dan is giving it a whopping score of 78%.
Damn,
that's a
I'm
lot
generous.
closer than
You are
I
generous.
thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive how close we are, actually, yeah. So our podcast score for the Outer Worlds is
Simple.
72.5%.
Hey.
Which I kind of actually agree with it.
Basically.
Yeah, it's basically Adam's score, yeah. Yeah, so I'm happy that I look at this game and I see a just above 7 out of 10. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
No, you don't. You see it 7 out of 10.
It's not an average 7 out of 10. It's just above it.
It's
because of
not
the audio and stuff.
groundbreaking.
Oi. And we'll leave it on that.
You can come again. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. 72.5%.
That's
Interesting.
for the first one. So come. Ooh, I wonder. I'm excited for that next game.
I wonder if that's a reflection on the types of games that we like individually,
Yeah.
subjectively as well.
We should
I think
do,
this was a good first game.
we're
for
doing
everyone.
FIFA to get like a sample.
FIFA 20 next, guys.
I know.
I have a story about all that as well.
God. So what we're going to do is a poll in January.
Mhm.
And the poll will be for the next game that we play.
We go. Okay.
Okay, so we'll put out a list of games, potential games. Thank you for that, Kevin.
Should we do that in December? So then.
Yeah,
you've
sorry,
got
no,
the
we'll do it in
results
December. So
by-
we'll post it
Okay.
next week, and then we'll ask you guys what game you want us.
And I don't know if maybe you want to join us for the game in a month. I mean, so maybe a
It's up to you.
Depends if I
Obviously-
played the game.
yeah. I mean, you can obviously play a game if you want or not. It'll be obviously yeah.
Yeah, but you're welcome to come on any time. So I mean, if you vote for the game, right, vote selfishly. If it's a game you really want to play, vote for that one. Then we'll allow you back on again.
Gonna vote selfishly anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Sick. All right. This has been Praise the Pickle podcast. This has been the moonlighting. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
The moonlighting of the Outer Worlds. A super duper deep dive. Love you all. 72.5. Pretty good score. Obsidian. Philanthropist.
Any other weird words you're gonna say?
Did you say philanthropist?
No, philanthropist.
Oh.
It's not a real word, Adam. No, we need to say the theme, don't we?
Oh my
Oh yeah, sorry, no, yeah.
Long pause.
If you've got, I was just for context, we've done like 6 hours of podcasting today. Okay, I'm very tired and I've got my voice is hurting. So, guys, please leave us feedback by tweeting us at,
Praise the Pickle.
by emailing us at,
Praise the Pickle podcast at gmail.com.
by sending us a message on Facebook at,
Searching Praise the Pickle on Facebook.
or sending us a message or whatever on Instagram at.
Praise the Pickle podcast.
He's good, isn't he? And please leave a review and rating on your podcast platform of choice. Love you all. Everyone say love you, Adam.
Love
you, Adam.
I hope you guys said that at home as well.
I said it.
You said it. All right, Pickle Squad out.
Pickle
Bye.
squad. Ow, pickle.
Oh man, I need to smoke.